Rooms, our first capstone touch point demo day, we're kind of using them pretty interchangeably, is today. So just quick rundown for what you should be talking about, and we'll go around the room. I'm just going to go top to bottom based on sort of like our attendance list here. And if the individual is not present today, then we'll just skip over them. But what we should talk about, many of you have submitted your initial intake forms and your weekly updates. So share your capstone ideas with the rest of the class, an update of kind of where you're at, any thoughts, questions, concerns that you might have, and anything you'd like to demo off for your class. So whatever you have to show for today, show it off. Just in terms of time for these touch points, so every student's going to have 2 minutes just so we can get through everyone. So two minutes per person should take us about 36 minutes to get through everyone. And then following everyone's updates here, we'll allocate 5 minutes, give or take, depending where we're at, for any questions or initial thoughts or feedback that folks have for everyone. We're not going to do questions for every single student, just because I don't want to run into too much class time for Kaitlyn and Dana. So we will have a hard stop of 2 minutes for every student. I'll be keeping time with a little timer, and I'll be raising my hand in the Zoom chat when your time is up. And if you're going way over, I'm just going to interrupt you. Sorry, but we just want to be cognizant of everyone's time here. But just keep your eye on the chat if you're able to. I'll raise my hand when you're at 2 minutes, so just keep that in mind. Just for your actual time speaking, if you have something to demo, please share your screen. You can show anything you like, whether it's Trello, any initial code, wireframes, web pages you started coding if you have them, stuff like that. If you don't have anything to share, you can take the whole 2 minutes just to talk about your ideas and your thoughts and whatnot. But if you do have something to share, we recommend breaking it down a minute per piece. So 1 minute to kind of talk about your overall project ideas and whatnot, and then the second minute to talk about, or rather to demo and show out things off. So that's just breakdown. Again, if you don't have anything to share your screen today to share, that's okay. You can take the whole 2 minutes just to talk about your ideas and where you're at. Some questions to help guide you. This is really like an overall, just things that kind of get you thinking about your project and whatnot. So like I mentioned, status updates, where you're at today, what you're working on, lessons learned, all that good stuff. So these are questions to guide you, but just tell us where you're at with your projects. And then one thing that I kind of hinted at a little bit last week, what we'd like to do is provide peer reviews, given how we can't, unfortunately, just due to how many students in their capstones updates, we can't provide, the individual feedback on this call, but we'd like to do that via this peer review demo form. So if I'll just pull it up really quick so you can take a look at it. You just select student's name and then provide any initial thoughts or feedback you have. So, hey, awesome idea, keep it up. I have thoughts or feedback on this. You did this well, you could improve there. And we'll be using this for all of our demo days. So I think this will help as students are presenting. It's all anonymous as well. So please, I would encourage you to submit that. And I hope that you will find it helpful to get that feedback from all of your students as well. I'll ping this directly along in the Zoom chat as well, just so that folks have it here. I just pinned that in the Slack channel, and I'll also ping in the Zoom right now as well. Please submit that. You don't have to do it right now. If you want to take notes like somewhere separately and then submit them all at once, that's fine. If you like to submit them as folks are presenting as well, that's okay too. As long as you do it, we'd really appreciate that. And I think that will be helpful for everyone else too. And then finally, once all those are submitted, we just have a spreadsheet here where you can view all those submissions, and that's in the classroom document. I'll put that in the Zoom chat as well. And then lastly, we've had a couple notes just asking for folks like hey, is my idea good or not? This is kind of that time to do that and ask those things. One thing in particular we've noted is like, how do I kind of move forward with my projects, and do I need approval, basically? So the short answer is no, you don't need approval from like Dana, myself, or any of the instructors, but that intake data and those weekly submissions will help us to review that data that you provide to us and help with those overall ideas in the scope of your projects and so forth. And I think that this has been mentioned before, but try to keep your scope pretty small. Typically, the less stuff you implement, the better, just because, for sake of time for the program. So simple the better, typically, is a good rule of thumb. And then final thing here, and then we'll kick off the touch points. Just based on your feedback, I think I mentioned this last week too, but we won't be sharing that initial intake data in the weekly submissions with the rest of the class. That'll just be used internal for the instructors to review it, and then the program managers as well. I was going to note that before I forgot. All right, any questions I can answer before we kick off here with demo days? Anything I can help answer? All right, so with that, I'm going to ping along in the Zoom chat just for the order of that we're going to go in for these demo days, so you'll know kind of who's first and then who's after you. I'm just doing it alphabetically based on all the students, so I just ping that along in the Zoom chat. That'll be the order for today, and just be aware of where you're at and be prepared for when you're up next. So again, just going alphabetically here. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I will hand it over to Ariel to give her update if she is on.
So Ariel said she was going to be late. She's having some internet service fixed at her home. So
okay. Yeah, she sent me a note too. I wasn't sure if she'd be on or not. So we'll skip over Ariel, and hopefully if she's able to join us, she can give her update when she does. All right, let's see. Bentley, are you on the call today? I don't believe they will be. No Bentley today. All right, so next up, Brandy, if you want to go ahead and give your update.
One moment, I was really just getting my notes started.
No worries, take your time.
So for my idea, I decided that I wanted to make a directory for local options and sustainability. I'm still scoping out the areas in that, but I'm mainly just trying to link people to resources specifically in Syracuse. Christy's homework assignment on wireframing was a big help. I got that started and aligned with my capstone. This week I plan on getting my pseudocode started, but yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Okay, great. Thank you, Brady. All right, next up, Brielle, if you want to give your update for your capstone.
Hi. Yeah, so I decided I wanted to do a search for activities to do in Central New York. At my current job, I spend a lot of time taking people out in the community doing things, and it's really hard to find a lot of new things to do sometimes, and I get asked about it a lot. And so I've come up with a wireframe and a user flow chart. And then I plan to have a basic search of just putting in your zip code and max distance, and then a more advanced search with other features like price, season, type of activity, and accessibility. And hopefully I can start fleshing that out a little bit more this week.
Awesome. Sounds great. Thanks. Screen share for today, or you're not ready for that quite yet?
Well, I did have the flow chart and the wireframe, but it's on my Mac. When I tried to pull it up through Google Classroom on my tablet, which is what I do the Zoom with, it wasn't supported to open the documents for some reason. So I wasn't able to show it.
Okay, no problem. I was going to say, if you like Braille, feel free to send that along in the Slack channel. If you like just initial thoughts or feedback on that. And I would encourage anyone else that's having difficulty sharing stuff for today, feel free to send that along in Slack for folks to review.
Okay, thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Braille. All right. Next up, Kaitlyn, you want to go ahead and give your update for today?
Sure. Finally came up with my idea earlier this week. I was toying with others. I want to do something in the mental health realm. Not as a doctor or anything, because I'm not. And there's a lot of these apps out there apparently, but I don't care. Something for people that are, coping with depression and anxiety, to kind of help them have a way, it's kind of like wellness in your pocket, sort of an idea, on your phone kind of thing. and having some different sections of it where they can have a gratitude journal. So that would be interactive, where they could actually enter in the text, and different galleries of inspirational photos, affirmations, that type of thing. And I would start by populating the galleries with something. But then if I can figure out, I guess this is part of the database part, to have them, manage that, what they want to have in there and so forth. And then one of the modules, sections, whatever I want to call it yet, also with some resources that may be helpful to them, like organizations like NAMI, and things like that, contact information. And, a big disclaimer, of course, would have to be there that, this does not replace a doctor or medical care. And I see it more for someone who's kind of functioning. They've gotten over the hump of whatever crisis they may have had, or maybe they never had a crisis, but they could just use a little extra friend in their pocket that they can do coping skills and things like that with.
Awesome. Thanks, Carolyn. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you. Next up, Corey, are you on the call, Corey? I don't believe he's dialed in for today. Okay, we'll skip over Corey. Next up, Dominique, if you want to go ahead and give your update.
All right. Right now I'm pretty much working on the wireframe. And if I'm gonna try to see if I can share my screen. Hold on.
Perfect. Yep, we can see it.
Okay. So that's what I have right now. I haven't updated any of my other pictures that I have up of all the pages that I have so far. But this is pretty much how far I got with my wireframe, and my website right now is this. So I'm trying to do like natural hacks and natural beauty blogs, because pretty much what I believe in is like we're using a lot of chemicals and things. I have switched out like heart medication for like something as simple as like cinnamon pills, and it has been working. So just natural beauty blogs is what I'm into. This is how far as I gotten, so that's about it.
So it's more of a high fidelity mock-up at this point, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I'm impressed. Yeah.
Very good. All right.
Yeah, looks great. Awesome work, Dominique.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, and sorry, I just put this in the chat too. So no one's hit the limit yet for the 2 minutes, but you will hear a very loud beeping noise on my end when your 2 minutes are up, just as a heads up to everyone as well. All right, next up, Alina, if you want to go ahead and give any updates on your end for your capstone.
Okay, so my capstone, so far I'm not completely sold on my capstone. I don't know if this is the idea that I want to stick with, but right now I am trying to create a website that revolves around like holistic health, healing your mind, body, and spirit. I want to have like mood trackers on there, like a section that helps you document your triggers and stuff. So eventually you can find like a pattern to help you control your triggers and your moods. There will be things like a meditation resource, yoga resources, gut health, affirmations, chakras. Just because somebody like me, I've suffered anxiety my whole life, but it's not just a anxiety tracker. I just want to basically have like a resource for like holistic health and ways to help you heal yourself and your body, your mind, body, and spirit without medications and stuff like that. Because I don't like the way that medications have affected me, and I feel like with medications, it's just trial and error. So if you can heal your mind, body, and spirit naturally, then most of your triggers and your anxiety attacks or depression attacks or whatever can go away, because the main goal is to be able to find like a pattern to help you. So then you know, like, oh, Monday through Thursday, I have like really high anxiety because I have class or whatever, and I need to prep dinner for the kids and make sure the kids have something, I don't know. But you know, the end goal is to just find like a pattern so you can help heal your mind, body, and spirit, and even have like resources and stuff to help you. I'm not completely sold on it, but that's where I'm going right now.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Alina. Thank you for the update. Awesome. Next up, Fabilia, if you want to go ahead and give your update for capstone.
Okay. Yes, I've been working as a freelance artist for the past year, 2 years or so. I do portrait illustration, arts and crafts, and things like that. So my capstone will be about creating a brand identity for my business. And so far, I'm working on a name change for the business. So I'm not really satisfied with the name that I have, the DBA, and working on the organization of the artwork that I have. And I'm thinking about creating more artwork to add to the website for display, and maybe a new product, which I would like to do, create my own line of greeting cards for the website too. So I'm trying to find a way to market everything. And as far as the wireframe, I'm working basically on a layout for how I would want the flow of the artwork to be displayed.
Awesome. Thanks, Abelia. Anything else, Abelia, you want to demo or display today?
No, not yet.
Okay. Oh, and no worries. That's totally fine. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Abelia. Appreciate it. All right. Up next, Jahil, if you want to give an update on your capstone, where you're at.
Yeah, I'm still in the I guess like written phase of it, and my idea is like called grammar goblins. So like it's supposed to be similar to like Kahoot, where people can join and I guess like compete against each other, kind of mixed with like some RPG elements or whatever. So like whoever like I guess fixes the grammar sentence quicker, they get the attack first or whatever, or have a stronger attack. But I want to make something more interactive and fun, so that students can learn and be engaged with like the online learning that they have currently. And I'm making this because I see like an issue with my sisters struggling with like the school that they have, like that's virtual right now. And also I contacted my teacher because we used to make video games, but like he needs help with like an engaging way to like get students to do better at English as well. So I think it's a double whammy. Right now I'm just working on a scalable prototype of it instead of like just saying I'm going to do all this stuff. So
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Jahil. Appreciate it. All right. Next up, Karen, if you want to go ahead and give anything you have on your capstone project. Karen, are you with us, Karen?
I'm not. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you.
All righty. Okay, so I have been working on a tarot website, and actually I've been doing tarot for like 30 plus years. And I have like private clients, and I have a couple other platforms that I work on. So what I did was I went on, what is it, Wix.com, and I created my own website. But the thing is, it's like they pretty much have this where you can just drag and drop everything. So I don't really know what I did. So it's just a matter of going in there, being able to code everything myself and get it up and running. And for me, tarot has been, it has this bad rap of, this fortune telling and that kind of thing. But for me, it's very much different. And as I said, I've worked for it. And there are so many people out there that they don't view it in the same way. They see these new alternatives, as people call them, as, they're the thing that works for them. So I want to be able to make that more accessible to people in different countries, because like now, some of the places that I work with, only certain people in certain countries are able to interact with the platform. So that's pretty much my goal overall. As I said, the website is already laid out and everything. I just need to be able to know how that was done from scratch and create that from scratch myself.
Awesome. Thank you, Karen. All right. Next up, Kyle, if you want to go ahead and give your updates for your capstone.
Yes, thanks. So a couple of years ago, I went to a hackathon at the Tech Garden, and I found this brochure. I don't know if people can see that. And it's for a walking tour of Syracuse, and it has like a map, and you find the number and the different points on the map, and then read the corresponding paragraph. It kind of has descriptions of the buildings and stuff. And because of the context of the hackathon had me thinking about programming, I was thinking how cumbersome it is to do that while you're trying to also, look around and look at buildings and stuff like that. So I had the idea of putting it on a phone so that you can listen to it instead of reading it. And it could be connected to GPS so that it would play automatically, like each section for each building would play wherever you are. And additionally, you have the option of adding sound effects to make it more immersive, like factory sounds at former factory buildings, or people calling to the mules along the Erie Canal, horses and carriages, steam trains, those type of historical context sound effects. So this is what I have so far for kind of like a flow chart. I can get it to share. Here we go. So like at the main page, it would detect whether your location was turned on your phone. And then it would either prompt you to turn on your location, or you could go through it manually. And the GPS would interact back and forth with the individual points on the map. And then there's also like a manual map where you could click each number and it would bring you to the page, for each number. So that's about where I'm at so far.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kyle. One thing, Kyle, just while I'm thinking about it, and I'm multitasking. I promise I'll provide feedback for everyone's projects. I can't right now, but one thing, Kyle, I'll just ping along in the Zoom chat that might be of interest. I'm not sure if they'll have this data, and this might be actually applicable to other projects if you're doing anything with location data, but the city of Syracuse actually has an open data portal. So you might be able to find some interesting information there. And that goes for anyone that's, doing stuff with these open data in some capacity. So I just want to pass that along for you and for everyone else too that might be interested in that. Cool. Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks.
All right. Next up, Latonia, if you want to go ahead and give your update.
Yes, thank you. My idea is to do an e-commerce site where I'm selling my original content for stock use purposes to people, like videos, images, that kind of stuff. I wanted to do this because I feel like it'll be a great extension to my current online presence. Obviously, I can go into that stuff and scale it up with the new knowledge that I have on these, kind of template websites. But it'll be nice to have a portfolio piece that I built from scratch to do that. And so I agree with Brandy, what she said earlier. The homework was a big help in helping me to just kind of scale out. I did some wireframes by hand. Just hand to kind of lay things out. And basically the next step for me would be to start doing a wireframe on the computer, better get a handle on the proportions through that process, and start tapping into different sites for different features that they have that I like. And may want to use for my website. So that's where I'm at.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Latonia. I really appreciate it. All right, next up, Mel, if you want to give anything on your end, Mel.
Yeah, yes, I also want to do a e-commerce site, but my site is going to be a affiliate e-commerce site, and for this site, I want to include some advanced capabilities, like have an option to search. I get a personalized wish list so users can come back, and get the items that they, were hoping to purchase at one point. I want to incorporate some SEO into the site as well. I do know that I'm going to have I'm going to need a login page, a sign up page, and I'm going back and forth right now, as far as which niche to focus on, and the categories that how we'll set up the site. but that's kind of what I want to do right now. And the one roadblock I am having, I've talked to Laura about this, is just not knowing how we're gonna implement databases and APIs, just because haven't really gotten to it and learned about it. But that's my idea so far.
Awesome, thanks, Mel. And the one piece of feedback I'll just give really quick for everyone too, like you won't know most likely right now, like how all those pieces kind of plug in, right? But try to at least think about it, right? So that's completely normal at this stage to not kind of understand how everything ties. That'll become more evident kind of as the program advances, but now is when you want to start thinking about that. Be like, hey, I know I need a database, but I'm going to learn how to do it in a future module. So that's just for everyone to kind of things to kind of chew on as we go through the modules. All right, Sarah, if you want to go ahead and anything on your end for your capstone?
Yes, hi everyone. So my idea was kind of along the same lines as Brielle's, in that it can be kind of difficult to find things to do. So when I was looking for events, it was easy to find like big concerts or like kids activities at libraries, but not necessarily what I was looking for. But then the kinds of things that I would hear from word of mouth or by looking at specific websites were like pop-up bakeries and night markets and that kind of cool stuff that you can't necessarily find unless you know where to look. So I wanted to create something to kind of aggregate all those events for local businesses in Syracuse. And then you could add features. Users could sign up and get notifications for their favorite businesses or restaurants and that kind of thing.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks, Sarah. All right. Next up, Shaw, if you want to go ahead and give any updates on your end for your capstone. Shaw, are you with us?
Hi, everyone. My idea was to build a website for a business in Syracuse. They have a small website. They are a small business and they have a website, but it's basically limited, like WordPress and Wix. They also have templates, but the Wix GoDaddy website is or template is very basic. It doesn't allow you, it doesn't give you any flexibility. Also, it's not very user-friendly. So I will be building their website from scratch. There will be options for clients to request codes and also for potential applicants to submit their resumes. So that is where I stand. I've created the Trello board. I've also created a basic flowchart. Let me share my screen. Share. So this is very, very basic. Usually I do these on paper, but I cannot write with my right hand, so I did it online. So this is a brief flow of the website. I don't know if you see, this is very small. Let me out. Yeah. So I tried to add the semantic HTML and also the main sections. So yeah, that's it. Stop sharing.
Thanks, Shaw. Looks great. Awesome. All right. Next up, Shantina, if you want to give any updates on your end for capstone?
Hey, everybody. So after talking with my girls, my kids, I have 3 girls. I don't know if I've ever said that to you guys or not. However, they're little entrepreneurs at heart, and they've always come up with ideas and things that they've wanted to do for the last couple of years. Sometimes I think it's me that kind of holds them back because I overplan. I have a tendency to overplan. So I think it would be great to create a website that would support one of their ideas or both of their idea. They both are interested in selling things. However, they very much so have that whole girl power spirit. So I think it would be great to create a website that allows them to sell the things that they were interested in selling. However, also provide, little tidbits or things that go along with girls that are rocking the world, or, either supportive things or just little bit pieces of information where people can go for information, not all at once, but something that can be updated, weekly or, bi-weekly, or something that works with them. So something that's kid friendly. Well, they're preteen and teen. So that appeals to, I guess, that age group, but it also that allows them to put out what they want to put out there and to interact. So.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Antina. Appreciate it. All right. Then last but certainly not least, Susan, if you want to give any updates in your end of your capstone.
Sure. My idea, sort of similar to the other girls with the information finding, but mine was about music festivals, because I recently moved to Syracuse, so I'm in a new area and I like to go to festivals. Generally they're in the summer, but they can be whenever. So like I was thinking of a map-based finder. My obstacle is that it might be too big of a project. It can be too big if I do the whole US. So I'm wondering if I should narrow it to like just the Northeast or just New York, or limit it by date, like just Memorial Day to Labor Day. I don't know, because like the other girls mentioned, like I moved here and it's like, I don't know how to find any information about anything. So like this would be specific music based with like camping. So I guess I could narrow it down that way, but like, that's it generally. I did a handwritten wireframe. That's it.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Susan. All right. Awesome. And one other thing I just pinged out as well, on our website, we actually have like an open data, like it's just a page with a couple of resources that folks doing any kind of work that Susan or others are doing. Includes a bunch of data sets from Albany, Syracuse, Rochester, Buffalo, a bunch of New York State data, and some other ones that are local to our community. So just putting that out there as well, that folks will hopefully find helpful. If you do use those, please let me know. We'd love to find out if they were actually useful. All that being said, thank you everyone for sharing your updates. Hopefully this is helpful for everyone to kind of get a gauge of where everyone's at. Really awesome progress so far, everyone. I know everyone's kind of at different stages in their capstone, and that's expected. But you're all coming along, and I'm glad everyone's prepared with their ideas and ready to share for today. So awesome work being 5 weeks into the program. So with all that being said, I'd love to open it up. If anyone has any initial thoughts, questions, feedback, reactions, I'd like to open up to all the students and all the instructors and TAs that are on as well, if you'd like to share anything. So with that, if anyone would like to share for the next 5 minutes or so.
Well, great minds, I guess. It seems like a lot of us have very similar ideas, like things that we're interested in, which I think is really cool. It kind of validates our ideas and everything, but I can really see the opportunity for some collaboration, not on project per se, because we each have our own capstone, but ideas that might be more specific to what you're trying to do. And so I'm awed at all the creativity and brilliance in this group again and again, over and over, and that just now proved it again. So thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks, Kaitlyn. And one thing I'll just add into that really quick. Obviously we have these touch points and demo days to get those ideas out there, but for folks that are doing similar project, like one, that's totally fine. Two, I would encourage you to sync up with each other. Like, hey, like what API are you using? What tech are you using? How are you using solving X, Y, and Z problem? We highly encourage that. Don't think of your capstones as like this like little isolated thing that's this is all mine, right? I can't share with anyone. I encourage you all to share those ideas. Hey, here's how I coded this. Here's how I coded that. I'd encourage you all to do that. Any other thoughts, feedback, questions, folks?
Yeah, since I'm going to actually fill in the form after class, it's attached to the spreadsheet. Is that right? So
yep.
My stuff will, okay. I just don't want to mess up the.
Yeah, and I know that those all went really quickly. The good news is these are all recorded. So if you have not, I've already seen a lot of folks submit on the spreadsheet. So Thank you, everyone that's done that thus far. That's totally fine if you want to submit this after class. And again, this is to help you all, right? Just that peer review. Hey, is this going to work or not for my project idea? So please complete that for your classmates.
Via the Google Doc forms, right? Exactly. One per person.
And then the form will link to the spreadsheet. Max just pinged it out in the chat.
Yes.
So
thank
who
you
was
very much.
typing in the chat? Was that you or I'm sorry, in the link that Max dropped, was that you or Max? As
Max
far as
dropped
the
that.
comments back. That was
Yeah.
Max. Okay.
Yeah, Max, that's also in the announcements. And in fact, what I'll do, let me grab that and I'll throw it in the Slack channel too, just for quick reference.
No, I just wanted to make sure I was replying to the right person because I actually do like their feedback from the post. So I wanted to respond to the correct person.
Okay.
There are multiple people filling out feedback on that form, so it is anonymous. It isn't guaranteed to be feedback from me, but if you do send me a note, and I will let you know whether I was the one who posted it or not.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Yeah, and maybe, and Max, I'm curious too, and everyone else's thoughts. This is intended to be anonymous, but I can add a first last name column if we don't want it to be anonymous. Folks be okay with that. If you want it to be anonymous, it'll just stay off. Just so, a great example, like if, Max had submitted for someone and if you want to be able to reach out to him, that's kind of an indicator. Would folks be okay with that if I just added, hey, if you want to not be anonymous, I'll put it on there. So everyone comfortable with that?
Yeah, I actually was typing in the chat box because someone gave me a suggestion about 2 sites and it's cut off. So
Gotcha.
it'd be nice just to know who they are.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I typically err on the side of being anonymous, but what I'll do is add that. And then if you don't know who it is, just ping in the Slack channel and be like, hey, who submitted this? And then I'm sure they'd be happy to provide you with that additional feedback. So let me update that form right now.
Latonia, if you click on the field in Sheets, you should be able to grab the top bar where the content shows up and drag it down to see the rest of it.
Yeah, I was trying to size the boxes and it wasn't letting me. Maybe I just need to focus on one thing at a time. I'll try it again later.
The box, it won't let you resize, but if you click on the cell up at the top where it says like C13 under view only, that you'll be able to drag down and you'll be able to see everything in there.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I'm just updating the spreadsheet on the fly. So moving forward, there will be a column for first and last name. I was going to say if folks don't want to remain anonymous, feel free to just plug your first and last names on there. Otherwise, like I said, you can just ping along in the Slack channel for that thoughts and feedback if folks want to provide that directly. All right. Any other initial thoughts, questions, folks? We got 20 seconds left if anyone wants to provide any questions, thoughts, initial feedback, any of that good stuff. And Shantina, yes, to answer your question, yeah, 1 for each person.
So I have a question, and I don't know if this would be too much. And this is why I was saying how I wasn't completely sold on the idea. So I do want to create like a holistic resource for my website, but I also make t-shirts on the side and hoodies and stuff like that. So I wanted to incorporate that in as well. And I'm not sure, I think it was Max, but I'm not really sure. Somebody said to have like a resource or a link to for selling Sage on there as well. So that gave me the idea of turning mine into like a part e-commerce website as well, just to add like my hoodies and t-shirts and merch onto the website. Do you think that's too much?
You can always approach that agilely. So, get the website up, get it working the way you want it to, and then start to prioritize what features that you want to add to it. One option that a lot of websites will do is they'll have their own website and then have a link to another platform like Shopify, where you can use that platform to buy your products on as well. So I would focus on your idea because I think your idea has a lot of full stack concepts in it, and it's what an employer will want to look at. And then this goes for everyone with the e-commerce websites. You can choose to kind of go for a complete solution like Shopify, where they will provide you a lot of the checkout things and product management and inventory and all of those features. And then you can start customizing on top of it. Or you could go for this more custom route, which is I want to build my own cart and I want to be able to manage my own product pages. And I will integrate with a credit card processor like Stripe so I can accept money and get things out there. If you're looking to launch this as a business after the program, something like WooCommerce or Shopify is probably a better option. But the point of the capstone isn't to launch a business, right? The point of the capstone is to show off your tech skills. And so for someone who is just doing an e-commerce site, that's a decision that you'll have to kind of make earlier on of, do I want to take this on to show off my tech skills, even though I know I may not have a complete platform for selling things when I'm done? Or do I really want to focus on having that platform and having everything fully functional, at which point you could start with something like WooCommerce or Shopify and sell things from there. So totally up to you what path you want to take. But I would encourage you to focus more on full stack features in your own app, so to speak, and then layer on e-commerce on top of that.
Awesome. That was really helpful, because actually I didn't really want to add like e-commerce onto it, because I actually have like social media handles and everything for everything that I already do. So I could just add those handles onto the website as a link. And if anybody had any interest in purchasing or whatever, they could just follow the links.
Yep.
Because I didn't want like a full-on e-commerce experience.
Cool. All right. Thanks, everyone. Any other last minute or final thoughts or questions or feedback for the Capstone Demo Day? Going once. All right, well, thank you again, everyone. Really awesome progress, everyone. We should be really proud of, after 5 weeks, this is where you're at. So really, really awesome work. Just another final reminder, if you didn't submit the feedback today for the Capstone project, I know, again, those went really fast, please do so. It seems like that's been helpful for everyone. So please provide that feedback to your fellow classmates. And I will provide it as well, and I'll note down there, my first, last name when I submit that as well. To everyone, I'll do that by end of this week. So with that, I'll hand it back over to you, Kaitlyn, to kick off class here, and I'm going to drop. But thank you again, everyone, and really, really awesome work. Keep it up.
Thanks, Jesse. Okay. Does anybody, can you guys quick thumbs up if you guys need a couple minutes to finish, get thoughts out of your head on paper or in the forums. We can take a couple minutes to do that. If you just do a quick thumbs up if you'd like that, or if you just want to get going. Okay. I got like 2 responses. So I'm gonna take that as like we just gonna continue. Okay, cool. Okay, so well, first, how are you guys feeling? Did you guys like enjoy that, or was that like scary?
I really enjoyed that, actually. It was I was really nervous at first, and I'm like, oh crap, because I know like Carolyn posted that she was having like she posted last week in the chat that she was going with like I'm sorry, she was going with her approach, and I was like, oh crap, mine's like kind of similar. So I was really nervous. So that was actually really, really helpful to hear everybody's ideas. Yeah. And I can't wait to see what everybody has at the end of our 24 weeks, because they are some really good ideas.
Yeah, I agree. You guys have some awesome ideas going on. So I'm excited. I'm going to do a quick poll for, let's see. I want to do a quick poll. Why is this, Max? Why is the poll being weird? I want to ask you guys if you have mentors for your capstone or not yet. Give me a second. I'm sorry.
Is it not showing up in the Zoom app?
It's like showing up, but I can't edit the poll.
Oh, you have to edit it on the website. You can only start it in Zoom.
Yeah, I have to sign in, so I have to find that info. Really
I think a bunch of us were answering in the chat if we had a person or not. So you might not want to waste your time on doing that if everybody already replied in the chat.
Count. Mostly no's. So okay, so there's one yes. Everybody else seems like a no. Okay, cool. Just wanted to gauge that.
So that's one thing we can work on in the instructor pool of getting together maybe a list of mentors that we can share out with you guys and figure out how to connect you with mentors for the capstone.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Good to know. Trying to see. All right. So let's do a quick stand up from last week. Any questions you guys ran into over the weekend? Anything cool? Anything you want to share really quick? No, Carolyn, you didn't have to do that. We were just trying to see if you guys would like that or not. We think it would be pretty helpful. So anybody want to share anything? Going once? Okay, cool. You guys are all shared out. All right. So what I want you to do is go to, can everybody access Google Classroom right now? Okay. I'm going to post a link to, I posted a material that is my slides. So I will send that to you guys here. And let me know if that works. I should just pop up a PDF. Bye, Jesse. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. So to get initial thoughts. So yeah, I just sent it in chat, but we're going to work on a little something for facilitating mentorship. So we'll be in touch about that.
Just so you know, that's a broken link.
I know. It doesn't exist yet.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
We're working on that. Yeah. So we'll be in touch on that, everyone. But all right. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
I just clicked on your link, Kaitlyn, and it does work on my end.
Perfect. And do you want to drop that in Slack for me, or do you want me to, I can do that if you,
I can take care of that so you can just move on to the next thing.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to introduce myself. I know I've been with you guys for a few weeks already, but I'm going to reintroduce myself because I feel like we met like 4 weeks ago now. So my name is Kaitlyn. I have a 7-year-old daughter. I am a full-time junior developer at Raymore and Flanagan. I am also a graduate of the first cohort of Careers and Code. So it's really fun to be on the other side of things here with you guys. And basically my background was not technology at all. So I did a complete career switch. I went to school out of high school, not knowing what I wanted to do. I got into nursing program, decided I really hated that. That was too gross. So I decided I wanted to be a chemistry major, which was a complete shift. And then that was really fun, but I wasn't sure what kind of job I was going to do with that. So I was at Lemoyne. I ended up going to OCC. I did some basic like general studies, graduated from OCC, went back to Lemoyne, and graduated with a degree in sociology with a focus in anthropology. And as a kid growing up, like one of my dream jobs was to be an archaeologist. And I quickly realized that wasn't really something that was like a very common job to come across. Like I feel like when I was looking, they're not common jobs. There's just like very few of them. And once you get that job, you're kind of in it for life. And the only way you can get that job is if somebody leaves. So it was kind of just like not the ideal thing for me to do. And I was pregnant with my daughter. So I was like, I need an actual career because I need to be able to support us. So I ended up going to get my master's in education. I knew somebody who worked in the education department at Syracuse University. So I got my master's in early childhood and special education, and I loved it. But I quickly realized that it was like extremely high stress, and it wasn't for me. It was incredibly hard. It was rewarding, but I was exhausted. So by nature, I was not a teacher as much as I loved it. It just wasn't for me. So here I am. And this is now what I do full time, and I love it. So I'm a little bit like, because I used to be a teacher, I kind of like know how to teach, but I've also never taught adults. So this is kind of scary. So even though I know you guys, just like, be patient with me. I've also never taught virtually, so it's kind of different for me. So That's that. So this week, I will be going into, actually one more thing. Can we pick office hours before we start so I don't forget by the end of the week?
Either Friday afternoon or Saturday morning, like 11, what we've been doing works for me.
The Saturday at 11 worked for the majority of people. That works really well for me this weekend. My weekend's kind of weird. Okay.
So I think 11, I don't know if you want to do a poll, but I feel like we've been going with 11 on Saturdays and that's been working well for most of us.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, everyone's nodding their head for Saturday at 11.
Perfect. All right. Good. We're good. Okay, cool. Thanks. Okay. And then just a quick overview for homework tonight. I posted one assignment. It's not due till tomorrow at midnight. It's just free code camp exercises to practice with Bootstrap. If you go to, let me share my screen, hold on. Okay, can you guys see this? Free code camp. So if you just do the exercises and screenshot like this section that says like, it'll say 31 out of 31, that's perfectly fine to submit. Whenever you get that done is fine. I just want to show you that. And then
can you send a direct link to that? I just went into the homework and it goes to, you know, your instructions, but I don't actually see the link to that.
Oh, did I not include the I probably forgot to include the link. I can edit it into there during the break. I will post it for you in a second also. I copied the link and I probably forgot to paste it in there. Thank you for telling me. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I definitely didn't include that. I'm adding it right now. Thank you. Okay, should be all set.
Are you putting the link in Google Classroom or in the chat? Where are you putting the link?
I just edited the assignment in Google Classroom. I can paste it here too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then.
I forgot to add it to the assignment because I was being scatterbrained. Okay. You guys, can you see the slides? Is that what you guys see?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Okay, so what we're going to be learning about this week is responsive web design. So responsive web design is basically designing a web page that allows the site to change dynamically. So it's not, responsive web design and mobile first are similar but different. So responsive web design starts with desktop and gradually scales down to be mobile friendly. And mobile first starts with mobile and scales up. The majority of users access websites on their mobile devices. Sorry, I want to stop sharing. I need to share different. Access on their mobile devices. Like over 50%. The statistics are kind of weird because there's not like if you have Google Analytics on your website, it will tell you kind of like what your users are using to access your page. And there are other like services I think that do that, but essentially you have to like keep track of that. So the majority of people access sites on their mobile devices, but they spend more time on a website on desktop. So both are still important. But because mobile devices are so easy to access for us, That's why most people use them. I generally use my phone a lot, but if I'm like shopping or something, I actually prefer to use a website on the computer because I just find it easier to navigate. You can see more at a time and things like that. So it's a personal preference as well, but both are very important. And mobile design is becoming very popular and like kind of taking over web design in general because companies are realizing that like people need to be able to access things, and to get people to, like, especially e-commerce, to buy things, you have to be able to have it accessible to the most people that you possibly can. So a dynamic site is a site that changes versus a static site where you have to like it doesn't adjust. So we're gonna do like an activity later on in the class. It's already 7:30 or 6:30. Wow. And you guys will get to like mess around with some sites and see kind of like what happens as you adjust the screen sizes. And so the web page responds to something called the viewport, which is the size of the screen that you can visually see. So the viewport changes based on the size of the device, right? And I know you guys have touched on a lot of this already. So that's kind of a brief overview. And I had some notes here that most mobile design starts in the wireframe mock-up phase. It starts with a mobile screen first, and then you create sometimes another version for a tablet, but generally speaking, there's not really a lot of in between. It's usually either just mobile or just desktop, and kind of like the in-between iPad sizes are kind of funky. And they usually just end up being more like mobile than they are desktop. And it's much easier to scale up to a larger screen than it is to scale down. So mobile first is kind of like a preferred way to design because it's easier to scale up. So it's 100% about design. It's not really about functionality. They both function the same. It's just the way that it looks. Okay. Some terms you may see when we're talking about stuff in this module and this week. A framework is a starting point or a foundation that's used for writing code quickly and can be altered with your own code. So an example of a framework that we're going to use is Bootstrap. It is pre-coded, but it is coded in HTML and CSS, and it just allows you to quickly plug things in and works with HTML and CSS regularly, but allows for customization. So that is a type of framework. We talked about Viewport, and then there's something called a preprocessor. And a preprocessor is a program that allows you to write code in a different way. And then it kind of converts that to fit the syntax of something else. So a preprocessor that we're going to learn about is Sas. I know Christy talked to you guys about that, where you can use like variables and stuff. That Sas basically compiles into CSS. And all that means is that Sas is kind of like written more simply, and like it's almost user-friendly for you. But when it all gets compiled at the end, it just spits out regular CSS. There's also a word that you might hear like transpiler or transpile. That literally translates something into something else. So it kind of does the same thing, but it's a little more than just compiling. It's basically, you can literally write code in a completely different language, and then it will transpile that into something else. So at the bottom, React Native transpiles into Java or Objective-C, which are two different things. Whereas like Sas just compiles CSS for you, and it just makes it easier for you to do it visually beforehand. It's less messy. You can break it apart. So that's just something that you might see. I feel like I'm going really fast. Are there any questions so far? Carolyn's nodding yes, you're going fast. I'm gonna stop for a second.
It's okay, Kaitlyn. I know what it's like to sometimes kick into that gear.
Do you guys have any
very
questions
hard.
coming up or anything coming to your head?
You're good.
There was a couple of questions in the group chat. I don't know if yours got answered, Carolyn, but mine was just about Google Analytics. I was wondering if we were going to touch base on that at all during this boot camp.
I don't think so. I don't know what module that would be in. That would be like really late. Probably when you get into like SEO, if anybody does touch on that.
Do you think taking a Google Analytics, so Google offers courses now and they're like $39 a month, granted if you finish it within a month or longer, or I mean, if you finish it within the month, it'll be $39 anyways, but do you think taking a Google Analytics course would be helpful to us as new web developers, or later on in the road?
I would say later down the road. It's not something that you really need to worry about right now. I think getting a better grasp on like basic coding and web development is a good idea right now. But down the road, if you really want to like run your own website and kind of like see what's going on and get into more like under the hood stuff, that's definitely something that you could look into.
Okay,
I would say if you're planning on doing any like freelance work, like if you're planning on making websites for other people and charging for it, that's a great time to get into Google Analytics. But it's not anything that's that you have to do a deep dive on now.
Yeah, I used Google Analytics a little bit when I worked for the doctor's office that I was doing their social media for. But that's something that I would like to learn more about. So that's why I was asking if we were learning that or if we should consider learning it on our own.
Yep, that was a good question. Anything else? I feel like I need to open chat somewhere.
So the last question that was in the chat that I can see, I've already typed a response to. Carolyn just wanted to know the term for the amount of time that someone spent on a website. She wanted to know if it was called stickiness. So according to what I was able to find, stickiness is one term that's used. I also found session or session length.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say that's accurate. And it really does depend on, there's a lot of factors, right? Like it's hard to tell why somebody didn't stay on your site. Like maybe it wasn't what they wanted, maybe it was too difficult to navigate. Like you really don't know. And so I think like these kind of, all these like statistics that you can get around with your website are kind of, you take them for what they are, but it's, you don't know, like maybe I saw it on my phone and then I wanted to go look on the computer later when I had more time, or like, wanted to see something differently. So it really just depends on what they're doing. But I think like a lot of e-commerce sites, like I said, like they use them to see, what kind of people are visiting, how can we improve our user experience? It kind of goes back to Christy and Dana's unit too. Is it accessible on a mobile device? Is it accessible on a web page, on a desktop more? Does it look better on the desktop? Is it easier to find things? So it's just, it all kind of like ties in a lot. Responsive web design, accessibility, and user experience really go all hand in hand. That's why they're all part of this module, but they're all very, very important, and they all kind of like work together to make a website really seamless and easy to use for any user. So they're all good questions you guys are asking. And so we're gonna get into some documentation. So something you guys haven't had to do a lot of so far is read technical documentation. It's all different. There are a lot of similar sections with reading documentation. Documentation basically provides you with a set of instructions on how to use a specific tool, framework. It could be Sas, so preprocessors, anything. Documentation also involves things like MDN, W3 schools like Dana uses. All those things are considered types of documentation. So it's really important that you guys kind of like get the feel of what these look like and how to navigate them so they can help you, because the whole point is to help you. Some documentation stinks, and it's horrible and it's hard to figure out. And even like seasoned developers have a hard time understanding how to use certain tools because their documentation is bad. As a web developer and as a coder, you're also going to need to write documentation a lot of the time. When you're working on a large project, you're going to need to know how to relay your thoughts, why you did something in code, leave comments, write out specs or like specifications for like a feature on a site, so that other people can follow those instructions or figure out your code. If it's a little bit like twisty and turny, you want to be able to lead those people in the direction that they need to go in. So if something breaks, they can fix it easier. So it's helpful to you and it's helpful to other people to be able to read and write documentation. So most documentation, this is the Bootstrap documentation, has a getting started section. I highly, highly, highly recommend reading through at least getting started, like introduction, how to use it, what it does, that kind of stuff, before you start using something, because you might think that this is what you want, and then you get into the documentation like, oh, this is really not what I want to be using, and you might want to switch. So before you dive into things, it's helpful to at least read this part. So with Bootstrap, it says it's for a quick start. No, you don't need to download Bootstrap. We're just going to import it in our HTML file. Good question though. So for a quick start, you're just it says looking to quickly add Bootstrap to your project. You can use all these other things. This is how we're going to use Bootstrap. We're just going to copy this link and link it like a style sheet in our HTML file. And that's all we're going to need to do. There is another.
So sorry to cut you off. My Bootstrap doesn't look like yours. I don't have, oh, never mind. Never mind. Just keep going. Sorry.
It's okay. So you can read, let's see if they have examples. These are all things that are made with Bootstrap. These are like some headers that you can create using Bootstrap classes. So the Bootstrap docs don't say a lot about like what it does, because in the homepage it tells you, right? You can quickly design and customize responsive mobile-first sites with Bootstrap. So if you click Get Started and you scroll down, you will see there's like, you can customize it. So it gives you an overview of like how they do it. They use Sas to do a lot of their classes, to do all their classes actually. They use Sas and they use mixins. They use variables. You can override anything on Bootstrap. So say I use a button and it's blue, I can make that any color I want using CSS. I can give that button a totally different class and override it. So the cool thing about Bootstrap is that it really just gives you a really good starting point, and then you can totally tweak it later to your liking and how you want things to look, but it does a lot of really cool things for you. We're not gonna like deep dive really bad into Bootstrap, but I'm gonna give you like some good basics. Like we're gonna code out the first page of the wireframe that we've been using for the e-commerce site with the feature image and all that, and the thumbnails that Chrissy provided. And we're gonna get that looking really nice together, and you guys will see kind of like the magic of Bootstrap. It's really fun. So they have layouts, use containers, use rows, columns. This container fluid is going to make your container stretch. It makes it fluid. So, and it'll tell you what everything does. So use the container fluid for a full width container that spans the whole width of the viewport. So no matter what device you're on, this container is going to take up the whole space that you give it. So that's kind of like how Bootstrap is so responsive and mobile first, is that a lot of these classes already have those breakpoints set in. That a breakpoint is where you have like a pixel length, like a pixel number, so like say it's 760 pixels, it's going to break and look different at that viewport. So maybe that's like an iPad, right? And then so on and so forth. So that's how that works. So this is.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Oh,
thought you were about to pause. There's a question in the chat. Elena wants to know, in your day-to-day job at Raymore and Flanagan, do you typically use Bootstrap, CSS Flex, Grid, etc.?
So at my job, we do use some Bootstrap classes. We use another tool called React, which you guys are going to learn later in the cohort as well. And I'm always working on CSS stuff because I feel like I get all the CSS stuff problems, which I love because that's like one of my favorite things to do is HTML and CSS. And a lot of people don't like to do that. Sometimes it's very tedious sometimes and very finicky. So I enjoy it. So we do use some Bootstrap classes. We do use React and we use CSS. We actually do use Sas as well at work for our CSS. So it's fun. So I get a lot of practice with that. Bootstrap, I don't get a lot of practice with like day to day because with React, there's another like Bootstrap kind of like spinoff called React Strap that React uses things called components. So React Strap builds the reusable components for you instead of just the classes. It's kind of like a more intense version of Bootstrap that works with React specifically.
It does use the Bootstrap style sheets under the hood though.
Yeah, it does. Yep. You just like code it different. So I get lost. Sometimes I get confused between regular Bootstrap and React Strap because like there's a whole bunch of like little syntax things that are different. So if you see me typing funny, just let me know. But okay. So Bootstrap also has you can do like they have typography classes you can add. They have a lot of added accessibility. I'm trying to find, I think a form would have like good accessibility, I believe I saw. So their forms already have like their ARIA labels put in. They have like the for so that things like relate to each other. They have, let's see, I don't remember. I don't know, I'll come across something and I'll point it out, but there's a lot of accessibility already built into Bootstrap as well with their CSS. So that's really helpful. They do use a lot of divs. I know last week we talked about not using too many divs, but with Bootstrap, you can replace the divs with elements that you want, but a lot of their, like pre-coded stuff is divs. So we have lots of divs here. But then we have like an image, we have like a class. So here's an example of a good like reusable kind of like class component that Bootstrap has is a card. And this is how we're going to do that page with all the products on it in the wireframe. Is we're going to use these cards and they have an image on inside the card, and the card has a body that has a title and text. And then there's a button, and the button can go somewhere. You can add it to your cart. You can look at the product page. Bootstrap is just like a ton of stuff that we're going to learn how to use. So I'm going to switch over to Sas Documentation. I'm going to show you how that's different. So Sas Documentation is a little bit different. So you can see on this page, it's described what it is again, just like Bootstrap did, where it says it's a CSS extension language. All that means is what we already talked about. It's a preprocessor. It's technically CSS, but it's just written slightly differently when you're coding it to help you as the coder, as a developer. So if you click install, we don't want to install this way. We would do it via command line, but we're not going to do that right now. You can click Learn Sas. And because Sas is like a program, that's why you have to install Sas. You can't just like make a file that's titled SCSS and then use Sas and then it's going to work. You have to like install it on your computer for it to know what those files should be doing and how they should be talking to each other. And so Sas is slightly different than Bootstrap in that way. But Sas Basics, it'll tell you like what is pre-processing. So this website's actually pretty user-friendly as well in terms of like for a new developer. So it says, you know, obviously CSS is fun, but style sheets are getting bigger and more complex. And the preprocessor can help. They have things like variables, nesting, and mix-ins that regular CSS doesn't have. So CSS has some variables and things like that, but Sas makes it a little bit easier to use those tools and utilities. And what Sas does is after you install Sas, you create a file called style.scss, and then it outputs to a style.css file. And this command says, okay, Sas, which is the program, watch this file that I'm coding in, and when I save this, put it into my regular CSS file the way that CSS is supposed to look. And it does it all for you. And then when you go and you launch your HTML, your index.html in your browser, it's going to look just like you used regular CSS, but it's a lot less painful once you learn how to use Sas, like, and you have a big style sheet. It's a lot easier to go through and look at like different parts of your code. So that's how that works. It talks about, go ahead, Dana.
Oh, I'm sorry, there's a question about Sas. Elena wants to know if it's going to be installed in the terminal.
Yeah, we'll install in the terminal. I'm not sure how far we're going to get with that. If we can get to it, it would be like probably Thursday, maybe Wednesday. I can walk through with you guys how to use it. It's not going to be required for you guys to use it in this module, just because you really need to have a really, really good handle on CSS first before you start diving deep with Sas, because it can quickly get very confusing. But I'm planning to do like a small little demo for you from start to finish, like how I install it, how I would use it, how I break apart my files, and that will be recorded during like a class session like this. So you guys could always go back later and watch that and try it out on your own when you feel comfortable. But I don't think that we have kind of like the CSS practice that we need to be able to use Sas completely right now, but I would love to see you guys try it and use it in your projects. And if you guys want to use it on your weekend homework assignment, which I have to post, feel free to try it out. And like, not gonna like, you know, be hard on you if it's not working out well, but if you want to be adventurous and try it out, like, feel free. So
there was one other question.
Sure.
I'm not sure if you covered this already, but if you did, let me know. Is Material UI becoming more popular?
I don't know a lot about Material UI. I don't know if Max knows about that.
Yeah, Max answered my questions in the group chat about Material UI. So I don't want to take up time in class to answer that question if Kaitlyn doesn't know too much about it.
Yeah, I didn't see that it was answered, so just making sure.
No, that's okay. Thank you. The coolest thing, the thing I love the most about Sas is this nesting, where you can have, like, say you have a list, an unordered list in your navigation. And so you put your nav like this, and then you have your unordered list nested inside of it like this. It takes up less lines of code this way, rather than having to style the nav UL like this and then style the list like this. You can have your nav, your UL, your LI, and your A tag all within this nav class, nav element right here. So it kind of like, it's not always less lines, but it helps organize your styling easier. It's easier to visualize. Instead of having nav this, nav this, nav this, you just have nav, and then like, here are the things inside the nav that I want to style. So I'm going to keep them inside the nav here. So you see how like these are all inside the same curly braces for the nav. So that's how that works. So the Sas documentation, I feel like is pretty clear. There's documentation here that goes more in depth, but that Learn Sas here is just kind of like the basic overview of like what you can do. with that. So if you guys feel like you want to read into this, this is a good place to start. And it's good practice to just like read the documentation. And then the last documentation that we're going to look at is we're going to take a look at MDN. So you might not think like MDN is documentation, but it is. You go there to like look stuff up, like W3 schools, like what does this HTML element do? What properties can I assign to this? What kind of attributes does this element have? And so if I go to HTML, it tells me, you know, all these like elements here. I can go here and see every single HTML element. It tells you like if you should use it or not. So like this one has like a trash can next to it, right? It says depreciate, like don't use that. It's not a thing that you should use anymore. And so this is like one of my favorite documentation websites to look at because it's super helpful for like everything. And this is already in the resources, but I'm gonna put it in our module 3 resources. So I think it's in the module 2 resources, but I'll re-add it for you guys in the spreadsheet. And all the links that are in my slides, I will add to that as well if you guys want that. I'm gonna stop for a second. Any questions so far that you guys haven't asked yet? Okay.
No, you're really good. You're going through this really, really thoroughly.
I'm sorry. I feel like I'm going so fast. So
no, it's really helpful to have your links and have everything in front of us so we can read along and do research as you're speaking. It all is clicking. It's very helpful.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, so here's the CSS resources. Here are CSS properties. I mean, there's like a zillion things. And you can always like search, obviously. So definitely give this a look. There's tons of technologies up here. So there's HTML, there's CSS, JavaScript. It'll help you with APIs if you need help with that later on. There's some other things here you can click around and look at, but this resource is really good. So I just wanted to give you that. Okay. All right, so I want to do a group activity actually, if you guys don't mind. I have groups here, but I'm gonna try to follow them. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I know there are people that like aren't here today. So Dana, I might need your help doing breakout rooms.
Okay.
And I'm trying to do something else. Do you guys want to do a break first before we do the activity, since it's 7 o'clock, but the activity might go past like 7:15? Do you want to do like a 15-minute break, come back at 7:15, and then do the rest of the class together in one chunk?
It's up to everyone else. I don't know if you want to do a poll, but I'm feeling confident to go ahead. I don't feel like we've been too much information overload yet.
Okay, so we'll do the group activity and then we'll break after the group. How's that? Okay. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Okay, so the activity basically, you guys are going to get into groups. I feel bad because this cohort is virtual, so I want you guys to like work together. I met so many cool people like Dana and Karen and tons of other people in cohort 1, and we were in person. It was so nice to have, you know, people to talk to and chat with and bounce ideas off of. So I just wanted to do like a little group activity. It's super like easy and laid back. You guys can chat and kind of like work together and get to know each other for a few minutes. But I want you guys to start feeling comfortable working with each other and like collaborating, because, you know, teamwork makes the dream work. So we're gonna go ahead and break into groups, and but you know, amongst you, want you to make note of things that you see, like elements that you see on the page, how the layout is, things like that, and then practice opening dev tools and clicking around and highlighting elements and kind of like seeing what they are, and then use your your icon here, that here. So if I open DevTools, this icon here, I want you guys to click that and practice like changing devices and seeing what the page looks like. This one here that I'm like hovering over, you can rotate the devices as well. So practice doing that and seeing what it looks like on different viewports. And then we're gonna give you, it's gonna be like 5-ish minutes of you guys kind of like messing around with the pages and seeing what you can come up with. And then afterwards, we're gonna come back and kind of like talk about what you guys saw. What is responsive on the website is kind of like what I want you to focus on, like what responds to the change in viewport? How does it look different? Do things move completely? Do they kind of like stay where they are but just get smaller or bigger? Look for things like that and how they're responsive and just like what you notice about the site.
Should we create our own groups, or are you going to create a breakout for us? I don't know. I've never done a breakout room.
I'm just waiting for her to pause so I could ask those questions.
Yeah,
I'll actually be setting up the breakout rooms. Who do you want? I have 3 rooms set up.
Yeah,
already. Who do you want in room number 1, or do you want the students to be able to pick their own rooms?
You guys can just, it doesn't, I mean, we have to have kind of an equal number, but it doesn't matter who's in what room. Like,
well, you can, well, doesn't Kaitlyn already have the group boards on? I don't know.
Yeah, we can follow these, but it was just like a example.
Might take a minute to get everyone in those rooms. I think Zoom has an option to evenly split everyone into a room.
Yeah.
And that might be what you want to do.
Yeah.
All right, I'm looking into the settings now. It's my options are allow participants to choose rooms, allow participants to return to main session at any time, automatically move all assigned participants into breakout rooms. Maybe that would split them evenly.
Yeah,
but there's nothing here that specifically says
do automatically
split them. Okay.
Yep, do that.
All right, and we're closing the rooms after 5 minutes. We'll be notified when time is up, and there'll be a 60-second countdown.
Perfect.
Will this room still be open so we can automatically join it afterwards?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, the main room stays open and it like kicks you back here if you don't.
Yep, it'll kick you back there. Okay. I will go ahead and open all the rooms and away we go.
Thank you, Dana.
No problem. All right, everyone's been assigned.
Are we supposed to get an email link or anything? I don't know. I've never done it.
Okay, I'm gonna
I don't know how this works.
Message to all. Let's see.
Alina, it should pop up on the screen or boot you automatically.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. All right, let's see how that works. All right, let's see. Okay, did anything pop up on any of your screens where you could just go into?
At the top, it says Dana McMullen to everyone. You may break out into a breakout room, but like it doesn't have like a link or anything to click on or.
Oh,
Kaitlyn, can you stop screen sharing?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's no.
I haven't done this before in like I can't like practice this stuff, so I'm sorry for the hiccup.
Technology. No, I've never done a breakout room, so I really don't know what we're doing. So it's all
have,
it's
like,
fine.
Only with like 1 or 2 people, not the whole.
Yeah, when I did it before, I just assigned folks, and then when I clicked the button, they just moved into that.
Right.
Never done the automatic signing.
I don't see anything in my email, if that helps at all.
It will invite you on the screen. We go into breakout rooms all the time to do sectionals in Syracuse Corral, but the director controls it, so I just wait for the invitation. It'll say you're invited or something like that.
Dana, can you try what you did again? It popped up that said you had invited us, and then there was no like button to click on, which was weird.
Okay, let me try this again. Let's see. All right, well, let me make sure allow. Oh, okay, let me see. Allow participants to choose room automatically. Okay, automatically move all assigned. Okay, hold on. Automatically move all Oh, you know why? Because it says automatically move all assigned participants into break rooms.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I'll click allow participants to choose rooms. Maybe that'll make a difference.
Yep.
Okay, back at 5 minutes and recreate.
What's behind door number 1?
And let's see. Okay, we have 3 breakout rooms. Oh, assign automatically. Okay, that made the
I was
difference.
gonna say that, Kaitlyn.
Door number 2, door number 3.
All right, and open all rooms. It says all participants have been invited to join. Yay. All right, that worked.
I love it. Oh, are we stuck in a room now? Nope. You and I get stuck here, right?
Yes, pretty much.
Or
that was fun.
It is fun. I'm having fun learning this. I don't know. I told Gus I would experiment and get back to him. So it looks like Jahil and Shantina are still, and Karen.
Yeah, I'm gonna move Karen over to 1. Let's see, I'll move her to room
with her other
3.
Thank you. My Zoom closed out, so I had to come back.
Okay, Latonia. I'll move her to room 3. If it's going to let me, maybe she's somewhere. Okay.
Yep, it's just. Oh, he didn't join yet. Okay.
Right. I'll move him into room 2. And then Susan.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Because there's
I'll move Susan to room 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Shantina can go to.
Yeah. Oh, it says Shantina unassigned.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. How about room 1? Laura Thorne. Put her in room 1. Okay. I think everyone's in a room now.
Perfect. I think. Perfect. Oh, what happened to Max? Did he leave?
I don't know where Max is. Yeah, he's not on my list at all.
That's so funny. He was like talking and then he just disappeared.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We might, I wonder if we can give them, they only got a couple minutes now. Whoops. Well, that's okay. That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think that yeah, no problem. I think if you want to go in and out of different rooms, you can, just to peek.
Oh, I think so too. Oh,
yeah. So that's a really cool feature. Someone, let's see, who is that? The letter C.
Corey.
Oh, cool. Hey, Corey. Let me ask to unmute him. I love being able to use all these new features.
Yeah, this is fun.
These new features in Zoom, yeah.
But they use it for the school district sometimes too. They have like when they have like parent meetings and stuff, and I've seen them just like boop, we just like all go to breakout rooms sometimes, and I'm just like,
yeah, it's nice, right?
They're like professional Zoom users or something. I don't know.
Like being able to use it on a mass scale. Hey, Corey.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. All of the students are in break rooms right now.
Okay.
Let's see. So they are, there's an in-class activity that Karen just gave out to everyone. But you just missed it, but I'll let Karen tell you what's, excuse me, Kaitlyn. I'll let Kaitlyn tell you what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we only have about a minute left.
Yeah,
Sure.
so Corey, so we're just talking about responsive web design. And sorry, hold on a second. And I had the students break out into sessions so they can kind of like review a website they're choosing as a group and kind of look at like how the page responds to the type of device they're looking at it with. And, you know, so we can get a feel for like what responsive web design is, what is mobile first, why it's important, what changes as you use a website on different devices. And then we're gonna take a break after we discuss kind of like their findings and what they observed. And then when we get back from the break, we're gonna start coding. So
Okay, good. Okay.
we're gonna get into it. We're talking about Bootstrap.
3, 2, and 1.
Oh wow, that was fast. Okay, so we can, there we go. Cool. I feel like that was super fast. Oops. Took us too long to figure it out. Maybe we should have done like 7 minutes or something. 2 minutes for troubleshooting.
Yeah, if you want them to go back in after the break, we can put them back in to play around a little more.
Yeah, if they want. I want to make sure. Oh, where's everybody? They still didn't come back.
Yeah, let's see. Should be on their way back. The timer said it's giving everyone 60 seconds.
Oh, that's right.
To find their way back to us.
I wasn't sure if that was like included in the time or if it's like an additional.
Yeah, let me go in. Let's see. All breakout rooms will close in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Oh, that's fun. We all just like pop back together.
Fun. We were having so much fun and you ruined our conversation.
You guys can go back to your rooms if you want more time. We didn't know that like the 5 minutes started and it seemed like it was going to be enough time. And then by the time we get in, there was like 3 minutes. Like it wasn't enough.
I didn't even know it was 5 minutes. I thought it was like 2 minutes. We were having a really great
We had to
conversation.
decide on the website. One of us had to go to it. One of us had to share, open, inspect, and try to see what was going on. And by the time you got that done, we were done.
How many minutes do you guys want? Because I'll send you back. Like I want this to be like a good exercise and like fun.
Well, this is
I
kind
mean,
of
at
what we
least
did
like
for
3 to
homework,
5
right?
more minutes would be great.
Okay, let's do like 7 more minutes because we need a couple minutes for like moving people around. And I think that was the problem the first time. We didn't have enough like, wiggle room. So
yeah. The problem is that automatically assigning folks are not going to end up in the same room. So
yeah.
You got to start over again.
Break to give them because it's not going to be additional time for the same groups.
Can you
I have
allow
a
us to
question.
choose and we'll just choose the same rooms we were in before? Like if you remember what room number you're in?
Yeah, let me pick somebody from each group.
I think we were in room 3, right, ladies?
One
Is my group
question.
3, okay.
Caitlin, this is a lot like the homework we had with Christy, where we analyzed.
Everyone else remember which rooms they were in?
Wait,
So-
Shantina said that she wasn't in a room with anybody in the chat.
That's sad. I'm sorry. I thought we were able to get you somewhere. I'm sorry, Shantina.
She can join our group if she wants. I feel like we had a really good group going and we had a really good website thanks to Brandy.
Yeah, so it is, that's awesome. So it is kind of like what Christy was having you guys do. Another piece of like another layer of this, if you'd like to add on to this, like is see what, if you open Bootstrap, see what types of Bootstrap components you could utilize for the website.
I think there are some already in this site we picked too.
When you say components of Bootstrap, what do you mean? Because we did find out that our website was using Bootstrap.
Yeah, the Bootstrap classes. It's classes component. I mean,
got it. Okay.
Interchangeably, but they're not exactly the same thing. But yeah, the classes.
Yep. No. Okay. Say less. We get it. I get it. I got it. I'm picking.
So we have to launch Bootstrap too? Or you can do that from within the dev tool? I'm a little confused about that step.
No, you can, somebody can open like a separate Bootstrap window. You just get bootstrap.com.
And then they'll have to open the browser in their Bootstrap. I mean, it makes more sense to do it all on one computer and screen.
Yeah, you could do that too. Yeah, however works.
Teamwork makes the dream work. That's what we were doing. We split ours up into like Brandy came up with the website, and then I think we were all opening up dev tools, and we found out we were all looking at the codes and everything, but Brielle was the one that found the Bootstrap code.
That's awesome. Yeah, so go for it. Let me know. So I have a suggestion. So for the breakout rooms, if we just do, if you are in,
Can you hold that thought for a minute? I'm looking at my breakout rooms list. Everything, it shows me who was in which room. If I open up the room again, we can move everyone back into the same room. So we can either continue now, and actually there was a problem with breakout room number 1 because I remember Jahil wasn't able to go into a room either. So I just put Shantina in room number 2. I'm gonna put Jahil in breakout room number 3.
Okay.
I don't know what's going. Hold on, let me try this again. Okay, so we're gonna,
This is a really good activity. I really enjoy the group activities that we've been having lately.
Good.
That's room number 3.
I like group activities.
All right.
I feel like it's better because we've just been like so online and everything. So it's really hard to find out how you interact with other people online because it's kind of awkward.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're starting to get into like, oh, we know each other. So we're getting into those, like, I'm not as shy anymore. So I've been really enjoying the group activities.
I love it.
All right, Karen, did you also want to go into a break room?
Actually, I was in room 2. I think Carolyn was like pretty much.
I'm sorry, not you, Karen Baxter, Karen Thorne. I apologize.
I don't think that the instructors were going into breakout rooms. I know Max left ours.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out here.
Right, I was just making sure to give her the option if she wanted to go or not. It's gonna be kind of lonely out here with me and Kaitlyn.
I was gonna say the instructors and the TAs should go to their room too.
All right, well, I'm gonna hang
Yeah,
out.
we kind of
here.
booted Max. We told him that it would be a
All
little
right.
bit awkward.
And then I just need to, hold on, I just need to add Corey. Let me see if his name is coming up on my list.
I don't think Corey was here today. I don't know if he's joined in.
Corey's
recently.
here now. He
Okay.
wasn't here earlier, but he's here now. So let's see, let me see.
Hello, Corey, welcome.
Dana,
Hello.
anything
Go to
that we did in the-
options.
I'm sorry, Dana.
Yes,
Anything that we
ma'am.
did in the breakout room, will it kind of remember? So if we had like screen sharing and stuff, or is that gone?
I'll
reshare your screen, but if you have the browsers open still, it should be fine.
Right. Oh, no, I wasn't sure if, I mean, that would be a really great
Yeah.
utility, but.
So
Zoom
what I'm
doesn't.
gonna, right, I'm not really sure what, yeah. I'm sitting here thinking like, I'm not really sure. What I can do is I can go ahead and get you all started, and then Corey, I'll ease you over into one of the break rooms because I'm not really sure how to add you just yet since your name just popped up, okay?
Sure.
That'd be all right. It
Okay.
shouldn't take me more than a minute. All right, and are we ready? And a 1, and a 2, and open all rooms. Let's see, hopefully it will be sending out an invitation. Oh, there they go. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud. I'm so happy this is working.
This is fun. I'm glad you figured this out.
Celebrate life's triumphs.
Yes,
Not
ma'am.
just different errors, but.
Professional developers figuring out how to use Zoom. This is
Yes,
fun.
ma'am.
Logistics
The rest of
is half
you,
of
get
it,
into your
right?
break rooms, you're missing out on the fun. Underlay.
I didn't get an invite.
You didn't? Ah, goodness. Okay, I'll go
I
ahead.
can't
and move
undulate till I'm
over.
invited.
No problem. Let's see.
I'm
You're in Carolyn.
I think I was in 2.
Carolyn. Yeah, you're in room number 2.
I'm already there because I'm not. I'm still looking at you on the screen.
It's you, Fabilia, Kyle. It was so easy the last time. Hold on, let me.
Yeah, our
And-
choir director has trouble with this too.
All right. Oh,
better.
it wants to move you to room. You know what? I think it's still trying to do everyone equally. All right, hold on. Let me, let me try this.
There you go. I got it.
Okay. All right, hold on. We got 1, 2. We have some glitches going on here. Okay,
Yeah.
she's actually, okay, I have her in room number 1 with Fabilia, Carolyn. So we have Karen, Kyle. Okay, now let me see if I can move them back to the rooms that they were in. So Carolyn, was in room number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then Fabelia, I don't remember what room she was in. I'll also put her in room number 2. And then let me see if I can move Corey. I'll put Corey in room number 3. Great, put into waiting room. It didn't ask me which room I wanted to put him in though. So maybe it's just doing it automatically. And I'll also put Jahil into a, great. Oh, this is working out great. All right.
Cool.
So whoever I wasn't able to put into a room on the list, I could just go into their little video block and scroll down the list and click on put in a waiting room, and it pops them right into a waiting room.
Okay.
All right, and now I'm looking at the list, and yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so everyone is split between room numbers 2 and 3. I still don't see Corey. Oh, it says Corey is unassigned. So I'm gonna put him in room number 3. Great. And okay, so, okay, great. So there's 0 and unassigned. It says Karen is in number 1, but she hasn't joined, which is great, because I don't think she wants to be in 1. And yeah, and everyone else is split between room numbers 2 and 3.
Yep.
So yeah.
Nice. I'm so cool.
Yeah. So when you get ready to do this again, we'll try again with the 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking maybe I thought people were in room number 1 and maybe they were sitting in unassigned, which is kind of weird though, because hold on, Karen. Oh, Karen has to be let back in again. Hold on. And then Jahil is back on my screen, and I thought that I put him into a room. Let me try him again.
I wonder if he's driving or something and he's in the.
Yeah. So maybe he took himself back out again.
Maybe.
Yeah. Karen Baxter, I'm going to try to put you back into a break room again. Let me.
She has her two Zooms too. So I don't know which one that is.
Okay. So maybe she has one for video and one for audio.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Let me try putting her back in the waiting room again. Okay, she's back. Yeah, so, okay, so Jahil he's just choosing not to join at this point, which is fine, especially if he's driving. So everybody's fine. And oh gosh, we only have 10 seconds left. Okay, should have extended the time.
We can keep them open when it pops up.
Right, okay, I'll do that then.
Yep, I just popped up for me.
Okay, yeah, okay, they're still open.
Okay.
So you want to start break at around 7:30 then?
Yeah, that's fine. I think I planned on possibly getting to coding at the end of today's class, but I also plan to maybe not start actually doing it until tomorrow. I want them to be able to pull down the stuff I have up, and so they have it. And then I also want to have them create the folder for today in their code folder and get started with that. So I think that might take a little bit of class time, but hopefully we can start. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see how far we get.
I've been trying to anticipate your pauses to ask questions.
I'm so bad at that.
I'm like, she paused and then I'll start the question, then you'll start talking again. I'm like, oh my gosh. You gotta tell me how you want to do this. Do you want me to wait?
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yes, because like my brain just goes, and if I don't get interrupted, I'll just keep going.
Okay, because yeah.
I'm not good at pausing. That's why I keep saying, am I going too fast? Is everything okay? I'm not good at that.
Yeah, the other thing that you can do, which I did with my couple of days, was just to encourage them just to come off of mute and ask a question.
Yeah.
That, I really didn't mind. A lot of them won't, but some will.
Yeah. So that's fine. We're gonna have a pretty good discussion here too, I think. After I'll let them go on break, maybe, and then we can have a discussion.
Okay.
Unless they want to get stuff out of their heads now and then we go on break.
Yeah, just let me know. Let me know when you want them to come out of the break rooms. I think at this time, I probably just have to manually have them come back out.
I think so too.
Or they'll just come out when they're ready.
This is fun. I know Ryan said he wanted to try to use small groups in his lessons later on. So I told him I'd guinea pig and I'd try it out, see how it went.
Great. Yeah, we'll be ready.
Oh, I like doing group activities. Like when I was teaching, that was like my favorite thing to do because it's more fun than just sitting around, and especially with kids, but I think adults need it too. Like something.
Yeah, exactly. I think is that when I take my large break around the time that Ryan starts teaching? I know that there are a few weeks there where I'm not TAing.
I don't know. I'm TA for 3 weeks in June, but that's all. I haven't looked.
And React, right, with Joey?
Yep. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
he can't get
Okay.
away from me. We work together and now he's got to work with me again.
I'm not touching TAing for React with a 10-foot pole. That's the time where I need to be sitting and relearning.
Yep. I've learned a lot at work, so.
Yeah, and the only reason why I put my name down towards the later modules where they're doing error correction and stuff is because Jesse was waiting for people to put their name down and no one would put their name down. And yeah, he was like, if you want to put your name down there, go ahead. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and just pop my name in there, because the ones where I didn't put my name down, where I was like, you know what, Dana, you're probably be better off just listening at this point. But I mean, at this point, I just got to ride with it because I've already planned my summer around the area where I've put my name. So
Yeah. Summer. I can't wait.
It's already here, kind of, sort of. Let me know when you want me to pull them out. It's 7:27.
Yep, I was just gonna say we can probably do that.
All right.
Does it let you give them a warning?
Let me see. I can broadcast a message to all of them while they're in there. You want me to say 1 minute?
Yeah, do that. See, I don't want to just like startle them back.
Okay. All right, and I'm gonna click close. Okay, we're at the 60-second.
Yay!
I don't know what you call that. Time down, markdown.
Hi, Sha.
60-second countdown. Sha hopped out. He was ready to go.
I'm done. I'm good. I'm glad they're having good conversations with each other. I can't wait to see what they come up with.
These closed captions are great too.
Yeah.
I don't know what type of speech to text engine that Zoom is using. They're probably using something that's being powered by Dragon, naturally speaking, but oh my goodness, this is top notch. This is better than what I used to see when I was working for captioning services.
They're pretty accurate. My grandma is deaf, and I grew up, with my dad always having closed captions on the TV, and my grandma, and so I'm used to it. But I've seen some horrible, horrible captions. I'm like, how does she even know what the heck is going on? I can't understand what that's supposed to say.
Yeah, this speech to text is great. Mel, I saw you laughing about something when you came back. Did we make you dizzy bringing you back to the main stage?
No, something funny happened in somebody's background. But
Oh, okay.
We don't share what happens elsewhere.
It's
What happens in room 3 stays in room 3 or whatever room.
Now I'm gonna have to go.
Yeah,
in
what
and-
happens in the background stays in the background.
That's right. That's why I always had to sit in the front. Of course, my maiden name was beginning of the alphabet and I was nearsighted. So that's kind of why I always sit in the front now. Stay out of trouble, I guess.
All right.
Whew.
Did you guys have a good time?
Kyle's going to be late because she's on her way home from our room. She's gonna get me some groceries, so.
Okay, okay. Does
We
it
had
send
a
you
really
back,
good
like-
time in our group, and I feel like we should do more group activities because it just helps us all. I don't know, not that we don't like you instructors or anything, but I feel like having the instructors in the room puts a little bit of pressure, especially since they're recorded and everything. So it puts a little bit of pressure on us students. So I have really been enjoying the breakout rooms and group discussions. I don't know about everybody else, but for myself, they've been really helpful.
Okay, I'll take note of that. That's good to know. I'll pass that along if a lot of people feel the same. Cool. All right, so does anybody want to share anything about what their group did? Anything that you found? Any trouble you
We just partied.
I bet.
We partied.
No,
kidding.
I think there are gonna be complaints that I was a taskmaster, that I got us right down to business.
You were the project manager, not the taskmaster.
Oh, okay.
No,
Grand wizard.
so our group, we had a lot of fun. The whole time we weren't on subject, I won't lie to you. We did talk about, we did go into like dev tools, and we found out that Brielle found out that they were using Bootstrap, and Susan found out that they were using cards for the videos because we were using a anime movie website that Brandy found called Funimation.
Okay.
So that was very interesting. And then we just got to know each other and talk about our capstones and stuff like that. And it was really good feedback.
Cool. Okay.
I don't feel like us students have much opportunities to talk amongst ourselves without the instructors and being recorded and stuff like that. So I feel like we were able to just like open up and actually get to know one another.
That's
And I
really
had fun.
great.
I don't know if anybody else had fun, but I did.
For your Saturday Night Live fans, talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Turn to your partner and say something nice.
Hey, Carolyn, just
Yes,
as I was
ma'am.
trying to squeeze information from you all about what was going on in those breakout rooms, my whole screen froze. Everyone's faces just froze. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, they're frozen. But then I realized the problem was on my end, and I had to close Zoom and come back.
You know, it felt very strange to be in a state of suspended animation. You have control. You like cryogenically. No, we were not frozen. We were very productive, except some of the search stuff wasn't helping us find what we were looking for.
I said that's one way to keep me from finding out what was going on in those breakout rooms. That was funny to me.
Oh, no, that was not what was going on.
No, but I say that to say that the timing for that glitch couldn't have been more perfect, as if it had been planned.
I kicked it in. I was like project manager. I said, okay, here we go. Let's do it. And I screen shared all the stuff so no one else had to deal with it. And then we just did what we did. So
that's awesome. It's because you have a background in screen sharing that you were able to do that.
I have mastered screen sharing. So
I don't know
hope I get
anything
a
about
special
screen
certificate
sharing.
at the end of this cohort, because it's
Add
like
it to your LinkedIn as special features. I am a professional at screen sharing.
Yeah, screen oversharing. Yeah.
Okay, so somebody tell me what website you use and what did you find in terms of responsiveness? And like what devices did you try?
I'm going to ask one of the team, my team, to speak, so I'm not talking so much. Oh dear. Anybody from team whatever we call ourselves?
I'm not scary, guys. I've been your team.
No, you're not. You're awesome.
Guys, for like a couple weeks, I've been on the class. Come on.
You're great.
And I can't even put on blast who was on the teams, because when Zoom kicked me out, I lost access to the breakout room list. I don't know if you give me co-host permission again, if the list will pop back up for me. I can try.
I didn't realize it. That's weird. What is wrong? Okay, hold on. Here we go.
Yeah, because I was
play nice.
Okay, thank you. So I'll try to get access to that list again, but I doubt it's gonna give it to me.
We're gonna go on break after we talk about this, but I want you guys to get it out of your heads so we can.
So anybody that was in the same room I was in, I'm not going to see her on my team. That's
Well, it's back.
Want to
So,
talk?
For room number 2, the team on that team was Karen, Kyle, Mel, Sarah, Shah, Shantina, Carolyn, and Fabilia.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I don't want to do all the talking, is all I'm trying to say.
Well, we could not find Bootstrap. We went to the NEA.org website suggested by Carolyn, and we couldn't find Bootstrap.
Okay, it might not use Bootstrap.
It is in there. What they've done in the HTML part, the element part, that a lot of stuff is collapsed.
So did you?
And so we
So did
tried.
you try out different devices and see how the page responded?
Oh yeah, this is actually what I did for my assignment, so I already kind of knew going in,
Oh,
so
okay.
I could help us stay. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good site, and it's a lot different than when I worked there. The people know what they're doing. They knew what they were doing then, but I mean, it's just really, web development's come a long way. And when I first looked at it, I thought, oh, what are you guys doing? Are you kidding? I have really come to like the site a lot in the last 48 hours.
if I can just help in some of the responses, and if you've already covered this, just let me know. But what I tend to look for when I'm looking at a website on different devices is I'm looking to see how the images shift or resize. I'm looking to see if content is still there or not, because there are a lot of things that will be there on a larger screen that won't be there on a smaller screen. So as you think about how to respond to this question, that would be a good place to start.
Mm-hmm.
So you really have to think back to what was there, what was in place on my laptop, and look at your phone and say, what isn't there? What shifted? What resized? Or is it not responsive because nothing shifted at all, nothing resized at all? And now I'm having a very poor reading experience on my own, on my phone, excuse me.
The main navigation menu and logo that is in the upper left-hand corner of the site, and I actually squished it down to a ridiculously weird, I don't think there's a device like this, but I slowly, stretched it out, and that goes, whoop, whoop,
yeah,
whoop,
exactly.
And then when you get wide enough, then it just becomes all the way down the left-hand side, but that's not as abrupt. That's not really a breakpoint, I don't think. And then the images they have in the text, the integrity of them stayed the same. The text size and everything stayed the same. It's just, you can tell there's a grid there. And then if you made the screen like super wide, like Jumbotron size, just for the fun of it, the text, of course, was wicked small.
Yeah.
But everything's still aligned, and then you just had the margins along the side. So it's like, it's definitely flexing like it should.
That's cool. Yeah, that's like a newer issue that websites are seeing, is the like 4K, like huge XL monitors are almost too big. And then sites get kind of stretched out and things look funny. So they've been, kind of like leaving lots of white space on the sides.
Yes.
And then the content is more towards the center of the screen, because that viewport is just too big.
You bring up a really good point, Kaitlyn, and that's what something. So I've been looking at monitors because I want to purchase a monitor, and I was looking at the curved monitors, and I don't know how that works as far as like seeing a whole page, or if it will curve the page and leave like white spots on the ends of the page or whatever. So that was a good point that you brought up.
Yeah, so the curved monitors, the whole idea behind that is supposed to be more like ergonomic for you to like see the whole monitor instead of having to constantly like turn your head this way. If you have like a large monitor, when it's curved, you can kind of like see in your peripheral vision almost like the sides here. It's not like super curved, but it's enough that it kind of like helps prevent it's for posture and
So a person with a curved monitor, obviously it wouldn't be for a web developer, because you would want to have more than one monitor, versus like 2 curved monitors would be a little weird. Right?
Yeah,
No?
and you can like split the monitors too if they're big enough, I think. But it won't like curve the site. It's just the curved monitor is literally just physical. It doesn't really do anything with the site, but the wider the monitor is, then you're gonna have like that white space usually on the right and left side, those margins, because that content is only supposed to scale so big, right? Like if you stretch out a paragraph, but the monitor is like huge, then that paragraph's gonna look like a single line and it's gonna look funny. And so, yeah, so the curved monitors, it just depends on how large they are. How that
we did 6K.
Yeah, that's huge.
I don't know how big a jumbotron is, but let's just see what happens at 6K. Just why not?
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
with our
and of course
website,
it's not usable, but it did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Cool.
So I was in group 3, and for our website, we used Funimation.com. Brandy came up with that. That was an anime website for watching videos and stuff like that. And then, like I said, Brielle was the one that found out that they were using Bootstrap. Susan was the one that found out that they were using cards. I actually went and put it into Waze, and I found out that they had like 2 errors and 2 alerts, which I actually think is not bad, considering websites that I have used last week had like buku amounts of errors and stuff like that. So I feel like it was pretty good as far as like accessibility wise. And then when we changed it from like different devices as far as like mobile or desktop and whatever devices we found, we didn't lose much content. We did change the font size and stuff as like that, but as far as content goes, everything was still there. So I feel like our group had a pretty good understanding, and we were able to find what we needed to find in the code pretty quickly and efficiently.
Cool. That's great.
I felt the same way.
Anybody else want to share? Like, we're gonna go on break if nobody else wants to share anything. The whole idea was just get you guys working together, get you guys looking at how those work, and maybe share some thoughts. So
I just wanted to add one thing before everyone goes on to break. As you continue your journey in investigating responsiveness, take a look at some of the things that are being done to menu bars as menus expand and contract. Having designed a few websites over the past couple of years, the options that are there for your navigation are amazing. There's everything from having your navigation bar go down into this little hamburger thing that you have to click, to just scaling it down, to even just removing some things. There are all kind of amazing things to do there with your nav bar. So I would say that as you plan out your websites for the different devices that they'll be on, that's something that you definitely want to have a handle on in your planning. That's it.
Thank you, Dana. All right, guys, so we're gonna go on break. We'll come back at 8 o'clock. How's that? That's about 17 minutes. Okay.
Thank you.
Wow, 17 minutes.
17?
We are so spoiled.
Can we have 18?
1 minute late, Carolyn, you troublemaker. Always.
I'm actually not a troublemaker. I'm just making up for all those years of being a presipa, whatever they call a person that doesn't cause trouble. All right.
I think everybody else already went on break because they are sick of our crap.
Yep.
No, but I want.
It's not crap. It's what makes the garden grow.
They're sick of us and our manure right now, but
I don't think so.
I've been having a really good class. I feel like this is a good class, and I feel like having everybody engaged and on track with the class, everything's flowing great. I don't know. I'm learning a lot. I'm having fun. So that's a good class to me.
Awesome. Yay. All right. I'll see you after break.
All right. See you then.
Okay, Dana. I'm going to get up and stretch my legs.
Go ahead. I'm just relaxing.
Thank you for your opinions and thoughts on things. I appreciate the insight, extra insight.
No problem. Yeah, the menu bars. I love seeing responsive menu bars.
It's fun.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you when you get that.
Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.
I was just about to remind you, and then I saw you already did it. I'm so cold.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was on mute. I was saying thank you.
I saw your
Cold too, Kaitlyn. What's up with that?
freezing. I don't know. I don't know how
Are
I'm
you
gonna.
okay?
I'm
I mean,
okay.
the weather, the temperature is like.
It's just like icky. I don't know. And I'm in my
Yeah.
sunroom, so it's all windows. It's like damp outside, you know,
Yeah.
not sunny.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah, it's
cold
been
too.
cold all day too.
My hands are cold, like it makes it hard to work.
Yeah.
So,
Your toes get cold?
my whole body's cold all the time.
Mm-hmm. Do you
Mine
tend
too.
to run kind of slower, your metabolism?
Yeah, it is. And
Like a
I
low
don't,
thyroid or something?
yeah, and I don't get enough iron, and it's fine.
That was the opposite. I was hyperthyroid and then got diagnosed with Graves a few years ago. And
Wow.
now I don't have a thyroid, so I'm officially low thyroid.
Mm.
No.
So I don't know which is better, hot flashes or freezing to death. We cope.
I turned my light on in here, so hopefully you guys can see me better. I'm not like in the
Oh, looks good.
okay. It's so bright. Okay. I'm gonna wait for everybody to get back.
Why don't you put on your sunglasses?
Right? I have
Yeah,
it in my
it
car.
works. Mine changed color, so they might be dark. I don't know.
Okay. So Latonia, I'm gonna answer your question. You had a question about WebKits. So WebKits are basically it's a rendering engine, like a software that helps your like HTML and CSS render properly depending on the browser. So every browser has their own WebKit. They're not really like, I asked Max because I sometimes see them and I sometimes don't. And I don't know why it's like here and there. And I use them at work sometimes. And it makes sense. He said that it's because you don't really need to use them unless you're using an older browser. So like at work, we still support IE. So yeah. So that's like where I knew what you meant. And so that's where like I use it. Still, I know like there are some CSS that's like not necessarily compatible with like Firefox, so you have to do something different sometimes. So it just really depends. But generally speaking, like you don't need to use them too much, but you will still see them in code because there are like bugs here and there that, you know, your website will look different on different browsers. And so you might need to utilize those WebKit prefixes to help your page look the same across browsers. So that's all those are. You're welcome. Okay, so it's 8 o'clock. I'm gonna try to start getting you guys set up with some code tonight, and then pretty much most of the class tomorrow, we're gonna be coding. So get ready for that. Yeah, it's exciting. Tomorrow and Wednesday will be pretty full code days. Thursday, we might just use to kind of like catch you guys up, answer some questions, play around with some stuff, and hopefully I will get to that Sas demo for you. If I don't get to it during class, I will try to do like maybe a separate recording for Sas, so you guys can utilize that later. So the first thing I want you guys to do is you're gonna need to open up your Careers in Code classroom code base in VS Code, and we're gonna do some Git action here because I want you guys to get the latest files from the teacher code, from the instructor code base. So I'm gonna share my screen once I get things where I want it. Hold on, bear with me, guys.
So just to clarify, you want us to open the Careers in Code file on our desktop and then open it up in VS Code as a new file?
Nope, not quite. Let me show you. Hold on, my Visual Studio Code's giving me a problem. All right, let me just share my screen and I'll start from the top.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. So my my careers and code, like classroom code base, lives on my desktop, but you can open a Finder window and go to desktop. And I'm gonna spread this out. And wherever you have that repo that you cloned from GitHub that has the instructor code, that's where you want to go. So mine has its own folder. So I'm going to click here, and this is the folder that I want to be in. So here's my desktop folder. The folder that's here is the one that has Git attached to it. And I know that because this has the same label as the one in GitHub. And then when you go inside here, it has all that cohort 2 code. So you don't want to open these files. You want to open this one. So I can open this, probably not like this because my computer hates me. So I'm just going to open a new VS Code window. I'm gonna
Wait, what did you right click on? Did you right click on new terminal folder?
I don't know. I wanna okay.
Sorry, Kaitlyn, are we going into our code or the code base?
The code base code right now.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to get my VS Code to cooperate. So I'm in a blank Visual Studio Code.
So,
and I'm gonna go to File and Open. And I'm gonna go to my desktop because that's where my classroom code base lives. And I'm gonna click on my classroom code base. And this is just like a parent folder I created on my desktop. This is the real folder I want to open because I can see when I click in this folder, it has these other 2 folders in it that I want to be able to access. So I'm going to click on this level because I want to open the whole project. Okay. So wherever your careers in code classroom code base lives, that's where you want to be right now. And you want to open that up in VS Code. And so you should see this minus all these documents that you won't have yet. Oops. I'm gonna give you a second and make sure everybody gets that open. If you don't have that open yet, just let me know and I can try to help you.
Susan says that she sees hers, but it doesn't have folder icons. But otherwise it looks the same.
Like in your desktop, Susan? Like in your Finder?
No, when I'm in VS Code, I have the same list you have, but I don't have the little blue folder icons within those.
Oh.
It just has the words, yeah.
Can you open them though? Like, do they expand?
Yeah, like module 1 has git keep. Oh, I'm in cohort 1. Let me flip down to cohort 2. Module 1 has what are we learning? Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I don't know why it doesn't have folders. Maybe I can look at that after class for you. That's weird. As long as you have the code, I think it'll be okay. And the one thing I want to check too is at the bottom here, you should have like a little branch icon and it should say master. And that's going to let you know that that is connected to GitHub. So as long as you see that, you should be okay.
Okay, I see that. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Anybody else stuck or are we all good to move on? Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Really quick. What did we right click on the folder? I just found mine.
you're gonna open it in Visual Studio Code. So I don't know if you can right click and open in VS Code, or if you might have to open VS Code first and then go to File, Open, and find the folder you want to open.
Got it. Okay.
Yep. Mine doesn't let me open in VS Code, and I can never remember, like at my work computer on Windows, it lets me do it like that. Is say open with, but sometimes on my Mac, it doesn't do that. So I kind of confused you guys. I'm sorry. Okay. So once we're here, you guys should see this master at the bottom, and my thing keeps popping up. And these icons, you shouldn't have any like arrows going in or out. You should have just like some other icons here. So like if I have a change, well, it's not gonna work because I don't want to commit this change. But if I had like a commit waiting, I would have like an up arrow with a 1 next to it. You don't want any of that. Otherwise, when you try to pull this code down, it's gonna throw like some errors and it's gonna say you have conflicts. And this is not a code base that you should be editing anyway, so you shouldn't have any issues.
How should you change it? Because mine says 4 with an arrow up. I mean, I'm sorry, 4 with an arrow down.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine to have an arrow down. That means you may have like fetched or something, or you have polls that are waiting to be merged into your local repository. So the arrow down means you have incoming code, and the arrow up means you have outgoing changes.
Okay, yeah, I just have 4 incoming and then 0 outgoing, so that's fine, I guess.
Do other people have like a number with a down arrow, or? Okay, it might just be like if you tried to pull or something before, Alina. We'll see. So do you guys want to use GitHub Desktop, or do you want to use VS Code for Git today?
I prefer VS Code. I don't know about everybody else. Jahil says VS Code in the group chat.
Okay.
And so does Sean.
I'm good either way.
And Brandy and Dominique.
So
as long as it's not get cracking, I'm fine.
Yeah, no. So just
that evil
yeah, no,
beast.
get cracking.
So what's the consensus?
We're just gonna stay in VS Code because it's easier. We don't have to
For
open.
me.
So
Yeah, the consensus is VS Code.
Okay, cool. So make sure you're in this root folder that you opened up. You have no changes. If you did have changes, they would show up here with the little Git icon. And I have a change here because I was working on some stuff. But that's okay. So I'm actually I
have 20, which may be from some other stuff I have in there that I've been working on.
20 changes?
It's that icon it looks like a fidget spinner, but anyway. Yeah, I have a number 20. So that shouldn't show, it should only show what directory I'm in, right?
So this Git icon, a source control icon, is only going to show changes in your code that are not that you still need to commit to GitHub, to the project. So it's only going to show changes that are local on your computer. So you shouldn't have any changes in this project because this is just the instructor folder.
So could it be another project and it's showing up here? Because I was working on a couple of the things with assignments and had them in another folder.
If you have that folder open, it would show, but if you have this folder open, there shouldn't be any changes.
That's really, can I just screen share real quick?
Sure. Do you want to, yeah.
You cannot start screen share with the other participant to sharing. Oh, never mind. That's all right. That's all right. I don't have to. Oh, okay.
or you can do a breakout with Dana if you prefer.
No, I just wanted you to see it. That's all. You see right there?
Mm-hmm. Go to module 2. Click on that module 2 arrow. Go to week 2. See that's how it's green?
Yeah, that's where they are.
Yeah, because you made changes there, but you don't want to make changes here. So I'm gonna have you.
Yeah, that's work in progress from other stuff.
Okay, well, we can try to pull, it might not. I know a way to do it, but I don't want to confuse you.
Is what we're gonna do going to affect the week 2 stuff at all?
It shouldn't,
Oh,
but
then it's fine. Okay, we're good.
yeah, I
We're
just
in
don't.
module 4 anyway, right?
3.
We're still in module 3?
The last week of module 3, yeah.
I thought we had 2 weeks. Oh, okay.
So
Whiplash. All right, so that shouldn't affect anything. Don't worry, I'll deal with those later because I'm still doing some stuff with a news site and another site I'm just trying to learn how to make. So, all right,
But is
we're
this gonna be
good.
open
So stop
week
sharing.
2 or week? I mean, week 2, module 3, right?
Sorry, what did you say?
Yeah, I said you wanted us to open week 2, module 3, right?
You don't have to open the folder yet. We're just gonna pull changes first. But yeah,
Okay.
that would be the
Sorry, just wanted to make sure I didn't miss a step.
That's okay. Just a minute, I'm sorry.
Quick question, what does git keep?
Whoops. Oh goodness, where's my screen?
So that's week 2, cohort 2, right?
Yeah, you're just gonna open this base folder right here, guys. Careers and Code, Classroom Code Base. That's all you need to open right now.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to go into any folders or anything like that. I just wanted, Carolyn had changes and I just wanted to see what the changes were because we need to pull code that I pushed up here because I want you guys to have the finished code for this week. And I'm gonna have you do this probably again tomorrow and after every day that we do some coding together because there's gonna be new stuff in here. So I want you guys to have the finished stuff so you can reference it as you're working on your own code. So that's all this is doing. So what we can do if you have this folder open, I want you to go to these 3 dots. Sorry, not the 3 dots. Go to the Git icon here on the left, source control. And then you're going to click the 3 dots in here. And I want you to pull. And you shouldn't get any errors or anything. It might not tell you anything, like mine didn't say anything because there was no changes. But you guys should have some things pop up in the folder, in the cohort 2 module 3 folder that are new.
Carolyn had a question. She asked what was git keep.
Oh, sorry. I heard it, but I got distracted. So git keep and git ignore are 2 different files. So git keep is like I don't actually use git keep. It just has to do with files that Git tracks. So if you want Git to track specific files that it's not already going to track, you could put them in git keep. The git ignore file, like I made this git ignore file yesterday because I had a bunch of files that were being created on my system. So you guys ever have tried when you make changes and you have like files called .ds store? Those are system files and Git doesn't need to track those. So what you can do is you can omit certain files from your Git commits and pushes so that they don't go up into your GitHub repo because they don't have anything to do with your actual code usually because they're for local or your system file. So like there's one, so here's DS store. These are system files. You don't need to track those in GitHub because they're just not necessary for your code to work elsewhere. And this .env, these are environment variables. So like specific environment things that you set in your code that only pertain to your machine. You could keep API keys and things in there, and they would only be on your computer, but you never ever want to push them to GitHub. So you would put those in a git ignore file because that's a security issue.
Latonia has a question. She wants to know if there should be a 2 next to the up arrow after the pull.
No. But if you go to your changes, do you have any changes showing up, Latonia? That's interesting. Okay. I don't think it's gonna hurt anything as long as you got the module 3 week 2 and it has a bunch of folders and files inside of that. If you have that, that's what you want. So as long as you have that, then you're in good shape after your pull. Oops, sorry. Okay, I see some thumbs up. And then we're gonna do one more thing before we end class tonight, because I know we only have 10 minutes. But we'll be ready to code tomorrow, so we'll be good to go. So if everybody has these files, we're gonna kind of go back to our Finder.
Wait, one quick second, Kaitlyn. So I have the day 1 and 2 with Bootstrap, the day 3 with Sas, and I have finish. I don't have the start file.
Yep. So the start, see that's good. The start folder is actually there's nothing in there right now because I didn't push any code into that folder. So that's actually only on my local repository right now. So
okay, thanks.
That's good. Yep, you're fine. I wasn't even thinking about that. Okay. All right, good question. So you should have at least like the day 1 and 2 files. I'm gonna move this window over here and I'm gonna open another.
Wait, where are we supposed to have the day 1 and 2 files? They're supposed to be in module 3.
Yeah, they should be in module 3 week 2. If you
in like get nor or get keep.
So you should have module 3 week 2.
Oh, never mind. I got it. Okay. So day 1 and 2 with Bootstrap and then day 3 with Sas 14.
Right.
Got it. Okay. I'm sorry.
And
No,
then
you're
in
fine.
that images, index HTML, normalized CSS and style CSS, and for day 3, CSS index and finish. Is that right?
Yeah, for day 3, you should have CSS, images, index, and then you should have a finish folder and a start folder. Some of them are not completed
But
yet. Which is,
day 1 to 2, I have images. Day
Yeah.
3, I don't.
okay.
That's, oh, okay.
There's nothing. So you guys might not see folders if they don't have anything in them. So the folders are in my repository locally, but if they're empty, you guys won't see them when you pull because there's nothing inside of them right now. Yeah, it's probably just you're not getting the empty folders, which is fine. When I put stuff in them, you can re-pull, which I'll have you guys do probably Wednesday, and then you'll see stuff in there again.
Okay, I think I'm good.
Yeah, good,
Yay,
awesome.
so much
Yay.
easier than the first time we did this a few weeks ago.
Getting better. Okay, so the next thing I want you to do is I don't have a my code folder here, but you guys will have one. So I'm gonna make one. Just for the sake of it looking the same. And in your my code folder, however you have it structured, make a folder that says, if you have a module 3 folder already, you can use that. And then in your module 3 folder, make a week two, no space, don't do the space. And then in your week 2, I can't make a file here. I hate this. You can just leave it as week 2 for now, and we'll open it in VS Code in a second.
Yep, my VS Code had 4 changes in associated with the careers and code file.
Okay.
Maybe I'll do a breakout after class to kind of make sure that that's matching yours.
Okay, Corey, no problem.
Okay.
And Carolyn, if you want to do the same thing, we can look at those together just to make sure you're all set.
Dankeschön.
All right, so if we have the folder structure here, I'm going to open another window of VS Code. I'll move this for a second in case somebody still needs that.
So just week 2, no day, no days within it?
Yep, I'm just gonna, we're gonna make the rest of the folders and files in VS Code because I can't do files in here. It makes me angry.
So you can do it either way. I sort of thought that some of it you kind of had to do with VS Code because it got kind of weird, but
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
switch over to VS Code because
Yeah.
it's just easier to keep track in there with the files and stuff. But we're just gonna make the day one -2 folder right now with the files inside of that.
we already have that?
Should we have headphones, index HTML, normalized CSS, and style CSS in, oh, I'm sorry, and images in day 1 through 2?
Yeah, we're gonna create those. Yep.
Yeah, didn't we already have a day 1-2 in there?
Well, you pulled my day 1-2, but you guys are gonna code with me, so you're gonna make your own in your my code folder.
Yeah,
Sorry.
okay, 2 different.
Okay,
right,
that makes
got it,
sense. I'm
got it.
sorry.
It's so
Yeah.
important to keep track of that.
I'm
Thank you.
sorry. No, it's okay. I'm trying to, I didn't explain it
So
well.
I need to get out of careers and code class code base.
Yep.
And then I need to do, or am I ahead of you now?
You can open a brand new window of VS Code and have your other window available, or you can just close the folder you were in and open your my code folder in VS Code, if that makes it easier to have one VS Code open and then create those folders in there.
Or can I just? See, I have a my code folder in here already
Yeah, you're gonna use.
that I
the
want
my
to
code
add
folder.
to.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're gonna use the same one you already have. I didn't have one, so I made it really quick.
Okay, so, yeah, how do I find that? Open folder. Oh, right here, day 3.
So I opened my code folder.
My
And
code.
this is all I have. Yours is gonna look different.
That
You're
does
gonna have all
not
your
exist.
folders in there. And then the
Wait, do you want us to open the careers in code or my code? My code, right?
now I want you to open my code because you're gonna create the files that, like, you're basically gonna create you're not gonna copy what's in my files, but you're gonna create the same files that I have, but they're gonna be empty right now. And you're
Okay,
gonna create them in your my code folder. Like wherever, however you structured your folders and files in your my code folder, that's what you're going to do. So that tomorrow we're ready to go coding together.
Okay, got it.
Are we gonna put the my code folder in, or are we gonna go the next level down to module 3 or further down?
You can put your code that you're going to be working on in however you want. I suggest putting it in a module 3 folder and then making another folder in that. Oh,
Okay.
making
So
another.
go lower, go to module 3, and then in that there'll be day 1. All right, instead of putting my code, boom. Okay, because it knows where it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right. Let's see, what am I doing? So I click on module 3 in the Finder, and that should do it.
yep. And in my week 2 folder, I have a day 1-2. You can just call it this, or you can do with Bootstrap.
Is that going to be a folder?
Yep. In your module 3, week 2, in your CIC my code.
So day day 1, then -2, then hyphen. All right.
Kaitlyn, can you make that a little bigger?
Oh, yes, I'm so sorry. Thank you. Is that better?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Maybe
It
just
looks so big
slightly,
on my-
slightly smaller. It's huge now.
Oh, okay. It looks, it's hard to tell. I feel like it's different on my screen than it is on the Zoom.
Okay. Yeah, I think it makes it easier to see the folders and the subfolders that you have now.
I don't like how this is opened. Your guys' folders open like this? I don't like this.
I've never seen that before.
Super annoying. I'm gonna make an index.html file and see if that helps.
Module 3, V2.
And I know we're at 8:30 now, so we'll just get these files. Put
I
in.
have kind of a weird thing. I have week 2, and then, it's in white and the arrow is pointing down.
Mhm.
And I made a folder day 1-2- with Bootstrap. I have to fix a typo in it. But now instead of, it's probably because it's empty. Now, instead of showing that folder below week 2,
It's like next to it.
in line with a slash.
Yeah, mine's doing it too. I hate it. I don't know why it's doing that.
And I thought, that I was so confused for a while. At one point back a few weeks ago, I was like, what am I doing wrong? And I don't know how to get, and I don't know how to pull, and I was all freaking out. And then Max
There you
cleared
go.
it up in like 10 seconds. So
It's because there's only, so I just made a week 1 folder just to see what happens. It's because there's only one,
there's nothing in it.
Because there's only one folder in the module 3 folder, it just makes it go straight across. So if you have more than one thing, it'll
There's got to be a way to override that. That's a pain.
Yeah,
but-
there's probably
but nothing's wrong. That's just what it does.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'll see if I can find the setting. Is there a question? Sorry, I thought I heard somebody say something.
I said good, good, good.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna make the same files that are in the CIC classroom code base folder. So I'm gonna do an images folder in this day 1 folder. You don't have to put anything in these files. We're just making the files.
Are we making the images file within the index HTML file?
Nope.
Or it's a separate one?
The images is a folder. So you're gonna make a folder called images in your day 1-2 folder. And then your index.html is gonna be on the same level as the images folder. So your day 1-2 is like a project folder, and then it's gonna have things inside the project. And one of those things is gonna be a folder that's gonna have images in it.
Images and index.
And then I'm gonna make my
And now day 1-2 drops down to where it should be in the first place. There's got to be a setting we can tweak. Anyway.
Kaitlyn, I'm going to send a message to Max to ask him if he knows which setting in VS Code would make it return to the traditional collapsing and expanding menus as opposed to going straight across. Maybe one of the instructors would know, but I'll check with him first. And if not, I'll put it up in the instructor channel. And I'm looking myself also.
That sounds
I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong, but my images, when I go to create images folder, it doesn't have the same icon as yours. It just adds images to the file name, the module 3.
Are you
file.
making a folder or a file? Because I mean,
No, I clicked make folder. Like I right clicked make folder, and then it just added it to the module 3 name.
You have
instead of the
really
images
cool
icon.
icons. that we
Okay,
don't.
so if you have,
does that make sense? I'm sorry.
It kind of does. I just want to make sure. So when if your folder structure looks like this in VS Code right now, you have to make sure the right folder is underlined when you're creating the file. So make sure you click on the correct folder.
No, yeah, it is. It's the same one that you're clicking on. And then when I click down and I right click, and then I click rename. And then, I'm sorry, I click new folder and then I click rename. And then I add images, but it doesn't show the same images icon that you have. It just adds images to the name.
That's okay. Does it have a drop down here?
Yes.
Like a folder? Okay. So
yep,
this
and then the drop down goes to index HTML. That's the only one that I have added.
I probably have some sort of like icon theme or something on my VS Code. And I think I'm going to put together like a little list of extensions you guys can add. Like I have Prettier that helps my code format, like all the tabs and everything when I'm coding so that it doesn't get sloppy. And like this kind of stuff is really helpful to visually like see where you are. So I'll see if I can figure out like what this is on my settings. And I'll let you guys know tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Those are like an extension or a settings or something. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't want to okay. Sorry. I get it now.
I think it was Brielle who also said she had like the blue folder icons. So I'll see what I can figure out, but it's probably just some setting. I have.
And my images is still in line with the rest. It didn't drop down like yours did, so maybe I should try again.
Yeah, so here's what I want to do. If you guys, anybody who has all their files and folders set up for tomorrow like this, you guys can feel free to go if you don't have any questions, because it's 8:35, so I'm gonna hold people who are done with this part, and then anybody who needs help and wants to stay, feel free to do that, and I'll try to help you guys troubleshoot.
Mhm.
Does that sound good?
Good, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm like looking at my other monitor too. Like I promise I'm talking to you guys. I'm not like staring away. But I feel like I'm not looking at my laptop right now. Okay, cool. Well, thanks guys. Everybody have a good night. If you're not staying, it was a good class, and I'll see you tomorrow.
See you later, everybody. I'm gonna hang around for a bit. See you later, everybody that's not staying. Enjoy. So this is.
So Kaitlyn,
Yes.
I have the 4 folders. I used Finder to kind of visually see the list and add all the folders in Mimikyu.
Okay.
I did create module, module 3, week 2, day 1-2 with Bootstrap.
Yep, perfect.
Images,
Yeah.
index.html, normalized.css, style.css.
Excellent. And that's all in your My Code folder?
Yes, under my coding, area. And then, but in the VS Code, I saw that there were like 4, there's an icon next to that, that tree looking icon that has 4 in a bubble. And it looks like there's 4 changes in my VS Code side.
So if your CIC My Code folder is connected to GitHub, then it'll tell you that there are changes. So if you have that on your GitHub repo, that's probably why.
Okay, so
But
should
as
I
long
be
as-
pulling?
As long as you're in your own My Code folder, then I wouldn't worry about that at all.
Okay, all right. Can I screen share and let you see it?
Yeah.
I'm intimidated with this
That's okay.
thing.
Git is still scary to me, and I use it every day at work, and I still get scared.
You are screen sharing, good.
I posted a solution in the chat.
But
But
those are DS store files that I was talking about. Oh,
Okay.
sorry, Dana.
no, I was Sha actually posted, he found a solution to the issue that we were having
With the
with
folder?
how the subfolders are displayed.
Thank you, Sha.
Thank you, Sha. Appreciate it.
That. Awesome. All right.
Thank you, Sha.
I will post that in the Slack channel, or Dana, you can post that in the Slack channel if you want, so people can see.
I'll do it right now.
Just in case people have already left.
Yeah, and so the instructors will know that they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. So Corey, this VS Code looks like you're in actually the instructor code base,
Okay.
not the My Code folder.
Oh yeah, I was using a Finder, and in my Finder here,
Oh, okay.
that was under my code, I believe.
Oh,
Code, right? Module 3, week 2.
Perfect. That's fine.
Shoot. Okay.
So the reason that your GitHub or your classroom code base is showing those DS store files is just because you've opened that and it's connected to GitHub, and your computer is creating those DS store files. So you can literally just right click on each of those files and undo it. That little undo arrow in the middle one. Yep. And you can just delete it. You don't need that at all.
Okay.
Any of those. And that should clear up those issues.
Okay. Got it.
I want then go to the bottom where it says master with the GitHub icon, the bottom left, sorry, and the blue bar. And there's a little like, oop, I hate that. Move your mouse back up a little bit. There's a little like spinny arrow icon next to the 4. Try to click that and it will sync.
The 4.
Right where you were at the bottom, but the
Oh, yes.
yeah, just click that.
Click which one? This area here?
Yep, that's gonna pull the commits for you. Click OK. There you go. Now you're all set.
Okay.
And then you're gonna say, it says, so this alert in the bottom
Gotcha.
right, it's gonna say, would you like, just click no.
No.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. That's probably why it did that. It was fetching for you and telling you you're missing commits, you need to pull, and then all you had to do was click that sync arrow, that like that's called sync, where it's like spinning with the arrows, and it's gonna pull whatever you're missing.
Got it. Okay.
Yep. So you're all set.
I'm all set? Okay, great.
You're all set.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a great night, everyone.
You too, Corey.
Good night. We have a question from Latonia. Latonia, is it okay for me to verbalize the question? Okay, so let's see. Oh gosh, I gotta find it again. Here we go. She wants to know if any harm will be done if she changes the names of her folders in the My Code folder.
Nope, because that code's not committed anywhere. And even if it is committed on GitHub, you can push that up to your own GitHub if you want. But it's just your code. So if you want to make changes, you go right ahead and make changes.
And at the point where she pushes it, she shouldn't be trying to change it at that point, correct? Because she wants it to.
Yeah, like, so yes, as long as you're not touching the instructor code base, then that's fine. If this is just your My Code folder, it's just on your computer anyway. And if it's connected to your GitHub and you do change folder names, your GitHub will recognize that and restructure those names for you anyway, after you push. So
Yeah,
it'll
thank
be
you.
fine.
That part answered. Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yep.
Can I jump in again with another question? So should I be using right now, every time I go in, it goes to Django HTML as opposed to just HTML. Should I make sure, or can I set that as my default some kind of way?
What do you mean, like when you make a file?
So when you go into VS Code, you know how you look down in the bottom right and you see HTML? Mine has Django HTML. So that's why when I type in the exclamation mark, I don't get the head information. I have to make sure it says HTML instead of Django HTML. So I'm just wondering if I need to do something to set HTML as my default.
That's a great question. That's never happened to me before. And I would say that might be a Max question because I have no idea.
Okay, thank you.
But that definitely should just say HTML. Susan has a couple questions about DS store files, I think in a settings file. Susan, are you comfortable? Are you still here? Are you comfortable sharing your screen or?
Yes, let me. I prefer that actually.
Okay.
If that's cool.
It's fine. It's easier to troubleshoot when I can see stuff.
Yeah, I've got a full of yeah. So and I ended up doing them, but I ended up going up to I was having trouble over here, so I just went to back out to Finder and fix my folders out there instead of in here. So now it's set. But see up here, this is.
So you can go to on your main CIC My Code folder, click at that level, open it back up, and then create a file and title it dot.
But it's opening down here. Is that bad?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
Dot git ignore.
Oops. Okay.
And then enter. And then you can put I'm gonna put this in chat for you. Actually, if you want to copy, here, just do this one. I'm gonna put it in chat. If I can get chat to work for me, sorry. Put that in there. And then put this one in there.
Oh, I don't know if I can see the chat while I'm in here.
Oops. Okay, well, there's like the .vs code, .ds store, an exclamation with .vs code / settings.json, and stuff like that. You can just copy and paste those lines into this file and save it. And then you can push this up to your, because this is your personal GitHub repo, right? So you can push those changes, commit them and push them up to your GitHub, and then it should stop creating those for you. Or if it doesn't stop creating them, it will at least stop telling you that there are changes.
Okay.
You want to see the chat is if you go down to your the bottom of your Zoom screen and click on the bubble that says chat, it should pop up. The other way that you can do it is to go to the top left corner of your screen where you'll see your window controls.
Yep.
And if you press on the green control, if the one, so you'll see the control that has
I got it.
X.
Yep.
Okay, great.
I
Okay,
just thank you very much. Okay, so
no problem.
okay. So I can move all these things over into this get ignore is what you're saying?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing so you can help someone else. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. No problem. It does it to me too, and I hate all those files, and they don't do anything.
It's so confusing.
It's just especially when you don't know what they are, you're like, what the heck is this? I didn't do anything. So it's fine. All right. Well, I only have a couple more minutes, guys. I'm sorry. But if anybody else has any more burning questions, or Carolyn, do you still want some help, or did I answer your question? Oh, you're muted. Sorry. Oh, you're muted, Carolyn.
Actually, I asked if I could share my screen.
Oh, I'm sorry, Karen.
Okay.
I didn't see Karen's chat. Do you mind if Karen shares her screen first, Carolyn?
Not at all.
Sorry. Go ahead, Karen.
Okay, there we go. Okay, here we go.
All right. Oh, so you're in the teacher code base right now. So you don't want to be making this in here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have you go to your tree icon on the left with the 9. Yep. Go ahead and click that. And yeah, you have all these silly files too. All right, so just go ahead and right click on, try to right click on changes and see if anything comes up.
Okay.
I want to see if you can just, click the undo arrow, that little like backwards looking arrow. Yeah, you can get rid of all those changes. Discard all 9. Okay, so now you're all clean here. And I want you're cleaned up. And I want you to, what is this one? What is that file? Lego something?
Max, we renamed that file.
Oh, this is so this is old, right?
No, actually, we just got this done right before we started doing what we're doing this week. When he did the last day he was here.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You must have 2 things open right now.
As far as
like 2 projects. Like this project is open. That's okay. So can you expand this over a little bit? This bar. Like here, let me see if I can get. Is there a drawing tool somewhere?
Oh yeah, I stopped looking. I was looking at the wrong screen. Now, where do you want me to go to the left? Right here?
No, see like this little column here with the that you were in with the folders and stuff in it.
Make your screen bigger.
You can
Source
make
control.
You can expand it. Nope. I just want you to expand. I don't have a drawing tool, Dana. I don't know where that is.
You know, it should be right down at the bottom under something that says annotations.
I don't see that.
Let me see if I have it.
That's weird.
5 channels.
Oh, I found it. It's in the menu. Okay.
Okay.
Right here. Oops. Hold on.
Zoom must have changed something because it's not on my toolbar.
Yeah, it's
I'm
not.
only co-host anyway, so I probably will.
Okay. Right here, Carolyn, you can just like click and drag this line. Like if you get like this line right here, you should get like a little arrow.
So click on it.
Right here. See this?
Talking to Karen, not me.
Here.
Oh yeah, Karen, sorry.
Okay, I just got confused. I thought, okay.
I'm just trying to get you to expand. This, oh my God, this pencil. This line right here that I'm drawing on, you can just move, like scoot it over. You don't have to click any of those buttons. Like hover over where I drew the red line and see that arrow? Yeah, now drag it to the right. There you go. Perfect. I don't know why that was so hard for me to explain. I'm sorry. Okay. So I just want to be able to see what these are. Can you double click on careers in code, classroom code base, like expand that out? And that, yep. And then click the 3 dots there.
Here?
Nope.
Or over here?
On the classroom. Yeah. Ooh, that one. Click that. Click on commit or like hover over it. Do undo last commit. Yeah, you don't want to commit any of this. So go to staged changes. Do you want me to draw?
Here?
Right here. Hover over that.
Okay.
And click on this little minus sign. Okay. And then click this click this undo. Oop. The undo arrow right there. Delete. Those are all just like, they're not necessary files anyway. Okay. So now I want you to click on this. Oh, wait, open that back up. Click on these 3 dots for your github.io project. Okay, so it looks like you just have 2 projects open at the same time. So that's fine. But I want you to right click on right click on this and see if you can close it. I don't know if you can. Yeah, okay, close it. You don't need to have it open. There's no changes or anything. All right. Now what happened? Where's your folders? All right. Okay, we're good. So see this right here in this, you can just delete that. That's just like random text that doesn't need to be there. You can just backspace. Yeah, all right, cool. And then now I want you to come down here and click on this little icon next to the 4, that little like circle icon. Oops. Yep. And then say, okay. So what we're doing is we got rid of a commit on the classroom code base that you didn't need to commit because you can't push to that code base anyway. And then we had to clear that out before you pulled, because if we pressed that sync button that you just clicked with the little circle arrows, it would have tried to push your changes that you don't want to push and pull at the same time, and it would have gone crazy. It would have just like threw up and been like, oh my God, what are you doing? We don't want to do that. So what we did is we got rid of the stuff you didn't need to commit, and then we were able to pull the changes that you need. So now when you go to this folder file icon up here, you should be able to open module 3, week 2, day 1, click that. And you still don't have anything in there, so I don't understand. Huh. Oh, that's so strange.
I think something like that happened with Max. It might have even been me. Way back. I forget how no, it happened with the whole class, and we had to like dump and start over, and that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to do that, but
No,
I don't. There's a glitch in the software.
Yeah. Why don't you try closing, just quit VS Code.
Okay.
You gotta go up to the code menu. Yeah. Go to code. And then quit.
All righty.
All right. So now,
sorry.
Where's your VS Code currently? It's not down here. So go to your applications icon or folder. However you get to those.
Right here.
Oh, yeah, that's the app store. You don't want that one. That's okay.
Wrong one. Let's see. I don't want the Apple apps.
Go to your Finder, like down here. I circled it at the bottom, or that works. Type Visual Studio Code. Yep. Yep. Yeah, it's still open. Go to File.
Here.
Right here.
Okay.
Go to Close Folder. Okay. Go to File, Open.
File, open.
Go to, where does your code base live on your computer? In your desktop?
Desktop, as
Okay.
far as I know.
Don't
quote me.
Go to your desktop.
Okay.
You can just go over to the left, Karen. Yeah, there you go. Then go to CIC. Go to Careers and Cohort 2. Go click on Module 2. I just want to, or Module 3. I'm sorry, you're right. I just want to see what's in there. Okay. It's okay. Click on week 2. You're good. You have everything you need from my code already, or the code base, the stuff that I put up there. So,
okay.
So that's fine. What I want you to do now is go back a couple folders. You can click that, I think. It should take you, there you go. Yep. Yep, one more. All right, so on this level, click on CIC. Then right click. And, oh wait, sorry. Right click on this white space right here. Are you right clicking or that's weird?
Yeah.
Okay. Just click, then click this button right here. I don't know why it's not showing up. I just wanted to create a folder. And then click my code, or type my code, sorry. All right, create. Perfect. And then inside here, say module 3. So you're going to right click again. Or sorry, you're going to click this new folder button. And
So
you're going to say module.
title that module 3.
Yeah. So this is going to be code that you can mess around with. It's not in GitHub. You're not going to mess anything up. It's just for you to use during class this week. Oh, you don't have to write free. You just might. Yeah, there you go.
That's kind of a reminder.
Oh, okay. I see. So you can do that. Just don't put the space. Just write dash free or something like that. If you need that to help you, that's fine. I actually like that. It means like free to play around with.
Right.
Perfect. All right.
It means I can't mess it up.
Exactly. Or if you do, it doesn't matter. It's fine. So, okay. So then in here, you can create like a day 1 folder. So if you click new folder, you can call it whatever you want. You can call it day 1-2. You can call it Bootstrap, whatever you want to call it. You can name it just like mine if you want, if that helps.
No spaces though, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. As long as you know what's inside that folder, that's all that matters. So however you want to do that. Okay. Perfect. And then this is where you're gonna create a folder called images.
Here?
Yep. Okay, great. And then all right, and then you're gonna go back to VS Code.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay.
Oh, are you in I forgot we're in open. Click the back arrow. You can just open this right up.
Okay. What? Oh, okay. Right here.
Yep. Go back to till you get to my code in blue. Yep, perfect. Now open. Click open at the bottom.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah.
There
Okay. I see it over here.
Oh.
Is that?
You
Did
click
I hit the wrong thing?
Click cancel.
Oh, wow. Yeah. My Zoom is kind of covering up my screen here.
That's
Let's
okay.
see.
So all you're gonna do, you don't have to screen share for this part. In that folder that you just made, you're gonna create an index.html file, a style.css file, and then normalize.css file. That's it. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So you're
All right. And so once I create them there, I don't have to move them anywhere else or touch anything.
Correct. You're
awesome.
I have a quick question.
Yep.
The 3 files that you just asked her to create, so they don't need a CSS folder before they create those 3 files?
No, not for this.
Not for this. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Just checking.
Thank you.
Okay. All righty. So thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
All right. You guys too.
Yeah, Kaitlyn, I gotta scoot out.
Yep, I'm gonna help Carolyn. I think that's the only person that still needs help, and then I'm gonna go. So
I need help.
All right. Y'all have a good night.
Bye. Good night.
Bye, Dana.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, so